Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm a Boeing 737 pilot and a member of PMDG's tech team. Welcome to round number 2 of my flights in the Boeing 737-800, and quite a couple of you have asked for it yesterday, so for today's flight we are actually going to switch to the 737 Freighter. And the one we see over here is a Boeing converted 737-800. Once again, a former Ryan airplane, Echo India Delta Alpha Delta, so you are going to get to see exactly what that plane looks like. It is actually equipped with an original airline config that represents the actual airplane completely, which, by the way, is the only 800 or the only PMDG 737 freighter that has an accurate airline config at all, if I'm not mistaken. For sure, the only 800. Now, something else we're going to try today is another round of GSX. Now, over the past day I played around a little bit with it, and I actually came up with a config that worked rather well with the 737-800 freighter. So, the freighter obviously not having all those passenger services makes things a bit easier. Now, obviously, GSX is still GSX, we all know where it's standing. However, I have to say that I was positively surprised how well it worked. Now, I don't have any configuration file for the airport, at least not for Ljubljana, which is where we are right now, in Slovenia. But from here we're going to fly on to Berlin and thereafter to Zurich, and for the last two airports we definitely have config files. So, let's see. Umberto promised a lot about how good GSX is going to be if configured properly. This one is configured properly, so let's see how it is going to work out. Alright, so, for the routing then today, as I've just briefly said already, it's going to be from Ljubljana to Berlin and then towards Zurich. So, I see the first question in there already by William. If you are on a charter flight in a 737 at an airport with a landing distance available of 5,754 feet, how would you calculate maximum load for takeoff and landing in the 800 with this runway? Now that is a little bit longer. To be honest, the very short version of it is you are going to enter it in the onboard performance tool, and it's going to tell you what your maximum landing weight is going to be. If you want to do it manually, that's a little bit more complicated and would actually be a topic for its own video. So, let's see then. We'll have our traffic control coming online in roughly half an hour. And Deep Zero, please show us wing flex in cruise. As you wish. In the beginning though, let's start actually doing a walk around. So that's our lovely 737 freighter over here. This one actually is the BCF, not the BDSF. So this is the one converted by Boeing themselves. Even though by Boeing themselves does sound a little bit misleading, because it actually is done by a Chinese substitute. So yeah, this basically is the airplane. Now you know what the rest of the 737 looks like, so I'm not going to stop here for anything major, so we're just going to take it from where we are right now and just do a very quick one. By the way, do notice up here we have our pogo stick in here, so we've been searching for it for a while and here we have it. At the same time, by the way, a couple of you said that I would not be very neutral and not point out issues with the 737. So, well, here you are. For whatever reason, probably in this livery only, there is nothing moving. There is that text on the cargo door not moving. So, yeah, that definitely is an issue. And that is one that is going to be sorted out later on as well. Let's head over into our flight deck then. Now, in the Boeing converted freighter, there actually aren't too many differences. Of course, we have our main deck cargo warning light up here on the main panel, and then the cargo fire extinguishers are looking a little bit different. If we were on the BDSF, then we'd also have an additional panel over here, and our pedestal arrangements would be a little bit different. But since we aren't, that's basically the difference that we're looking at in the Boeing converted freighter. Alright, so let's give the plane a little bit of power, and then we'll just... Oh! Well, Microsoft Flight Simulator just crashed. Did I forgot to... Yeah. I had the online services enabled for a short while. And of course, Microsoft Flight Simulator still has the issues with the online services. So there we go, straight away to the desktop. Anyway guys, I'm gonna restart the Flight Simulator. Give me a short moment and then we'll be straight back. So, MG King, yes, definitely still CTD issues. Those are from the simulator itself, so there is not really that much that can be done about it. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait for a short moment until the simulator is back, and then we'll definitely make our way. So, of course, for once I'm going into the online menus because I wanted to try something today. Because one of my scenery looked a little bit strange with the default terrain, and yep, there we are. So, give it a short while. You guys know when you are when you're running the Steam version of Microsoft Flight Simulator and it crashes to desktop, then sometimes sometimes Steam keeps thinking that the simulator is still running and doesn't allow you to start it. So I just had to shut Steam down as well, and now it's actually going to start off once again. Instincts. How many liveries are going to come with the aircraft? Let me give you an overview over that. So, that would be this window over here for you. Yes, simulator in normal mode, please. Right, so, wait a second. Of course, I'm very well prepared for my live stream. My keyboard just ran out of power. So, I just got to sort that out as well. Of course, finding the right cable always is the issue, isn't it? Alright, found it. So, very good start for the day, isn't it? First the simulator goes back to the desktop, and then my keyboard runs out of power. Anyway, here we are now. Back with power again, so let's have a look into the different liveries that are going to be available for the 737. We'll start off, as I'm on the page right now, with a Boeing converted freighter. So we have ASL in their own livery, then we have FedEx operated by West Atlantic, FedEx operated by ASL, and then we have Prime Air operated by ASL, and we have Prime Air operated by Southern Air. So that's the European version of Prime Air, so to say, and this is the American version. Now, in both cases, I'm saying Prime Air, while actually I should be saying that it's really different airlines operating on behalf of Prime Air with aircrafts painted in their color. Moving on, for the BDSF, all we have is DHL at the moment. Boeing Business Jet, so we have Gamma Aviation and 7372 Aviation. And finally moving on to the 800 passenger version. That's the one you've all been waiting for, isn't it? So we have Aeromexico, Air China, Alaska Airlines, Thrice, American Airlines, Thrice as well, All Nippon, Com Air. Then we have Delta Airlines, Flair Airlines, KLM, Mango Airlines, Norwegian Air Shuttle, twice, Pegasus Airlines, Qantas. Then we have the complete Ryanair group represented. Scandinavian, Southwest, Sunwing, Swoop, United, and WestJet. So those are the liveries that we are expecting today. Right, let's go ahead then, real quick. Yep, that's the airplane I want to fly, and we are going towards Ljubljana, parking up here on the cargo apron. Right, attempt number 2. Let's hit fly, and see, let's see what's going to happen this time. Berserker Dirk, you saw only one livery for Southwest. Yes, that's correct. At the moment there is only one livery for Southwest. Right, so ready to fly. Initially, as always, a little bit frame rate problems, but the simulator really seems to do that all the time. So let's wait for it. Let's see what's going to happen. That looks better. At least marginally. Right, so let's go back to a cold and dark airplane. And when we have done that, let's load it up once again. Too bad. I kind of hoped that I could just have done all of that prior to the stream, but fortunately, Microsoft never makes it easy, do they? So, ground services. We do not need stairs, as we're going to use GSX for that. In terms of fuel, I think 6.6 was what I loaded, and the payload 57 tons. Alright, and that should be pretty much it, I believe. Okay, so, try number 2. Let's see if we can connect to VATSIM, or if we're gonna get some kind of issue. It works so far. Alright. Oh yes, we're getting error messages. Yeah, it works. As always when you connect to VATSIM. Alright, so, we've pretty much got everything loaded up here, so I told you earlier on I created a custom GSX profile for the 737. So let's actually go ahead and try to call GSX up for boarding.
Ground services.
Yes, you can have your parking brakes as well. Here you are. So is it gonna open? Yep, eventually. Alright, so request boarding. So I do have to say, when I played around with GSX, it really worked much better with a freighter than it did with a passenger version. So for the freighter, actually there is, well, apart from this, there's not too much to complain about. So let's go ahead and give the aircraft some power so that we can open the main cargo door. And of course, at the same time, if we're powering it up anyway, let's just power it up completely.
Crew box is coming.
Now, don't forget to turn on the voice recorder switch. That one's new. I'm sure that you've seen my separate video that I did on it today. So, when you are doing the initial cockpit preparation, make sure to turn the voice recorder switch on. That is actually a legal requirement in Europe. Don't know about other parts of the world, but for sure in Europe it is. Alright, so here comes all the equipment. And oh boy, what's it doing? I have corrected that door position just before the live stream. No idea why it lost all of that once again. Well, GSX. No comment. I guess that's what you get, isn't it? Timothy, is the engine of Microsoft Flight Simulator so bad that it is messing up a product such as GSX that's been around for a long time? No, the engine itself is not that bad, if I'm totally honest. It's just different and it requires different programming. And that is a lot of work, and... Hey, cool, we're taking a shortcut today into the flight deck. Yeah, well, back to here. So it's just a lot of work to redo all that, and the simple fact that it has to be redone means that the developer has to invest a lot of time and cannot reuse all of his old stuff. So that's pretty much how it happens. And yeah, Umberto said himself in the forums that he couldn't be bothered doing all that fancy stuff because he thought, well, all that people are gonna look at are the visuals. That's quoted from him from the forums. So can link you that one if you would like me to do so later on. All right, so no online services this time. Everything turned off.
Your crew has boarded.
So we want to go fast today, so let's make cost NX 50. Can we still make our off-block in 13 minutes? Yeah, probably. So we'll keep it at cost NX 50. We got some very urgent cargo on board today. One of the nice parts of flying a freighter. Everything just has to be on time. So, no matter what, give it the speed you need in case you're running late. No need to enter cruise wind or top of climb, since we are basically flying in an ICAO standard condition. Unfortunately, but that's what it is, that's what we have to live with, for as long as the online services are unreliable. So you can see our main deck cargo door warning light over here on the main panel. And we also have the adjusted cargo panel down here, where we have an additional area now for the smoke detectors, due to the main cabin also being part of this now. So do me a favor and ignore that these steps at the front there. I don't know why, I configured them correctly before. Can even show you a screenshot if you like. And then all of a sudden, you name it, you get it. What's a little pity is that with the cargo holds of the 737 being so low, it only allows for belts, and with belts it'll always put bags in and no actual cargo. That's a pity, but that's GSX, so keep that in mind when we're talking about this. This is GSX now, and not PMDG's own ground services, which of course take full account of the freighter model as well. Alright, back into the flight deck. Let's actually start having a look at our charts for the departure so that we can plan ahead a little bit. Here we go, and here we go. We're looking at the Gimmicks 1 Zulu departure most probably, from runway 30. So let's have a look here. Gimmicks 1 Zulu, initial climb clearance is flight level 120. Now the 800 does by far not climb as easy as the 700s do, or the 600 for sure, but they do climb quite well, so you are going to see this in a moment when we are actually taking off. So keep in mind this one does not have the 27k bump option, because that one actually is optional now, and the real one doesn't have it either. So we'll have to live with full 26k in case we get to need it. But I don't really think we'll do, but our OPT is going to give us more information on that. In the meantime, talking about the OPT, we finally have one available for the 737-800, and we are flying one, so we can definitely use this. So let's go ahead and do a couple of calculations here already. We're gonna be departing runway 30, I guess. Let's just take an intersection. Wind 110 at 5, temperature 23, 1015. And we can see here we are severely takeoff limited. So that's intersection Charlie though. Let's see what we can get with a full runway length. Yeah, 69,293 is the maximum that we can get out of here, of Ljubljana, at a full 26k. And we are obstacle limited. So we see where this is going. Let's quickly enter the engine failure procedure as well while we're looking at it. So at Lima Bravo Lima, left 080. So we have Lima Bravo Lima, and we'll take 080. And from there on, intercept radio 300 Delta Oscar Lima, holding 7 miles inbound, 120 right turn. Okay, so that's then gonna be Delta Oscar Lima 120 because we're flying the radial inbound. Actually, we can make that 300, and we want a 6-mile ring. That should pretty 7-mile ring. I'm sorry. Alright, that's this. So GSX just told us that they are finished. Why are they crashing into one another? I can understand that they are crashing into the carts parking here on the apron, but not that they are crashing into one another. Because they have no way of knowing that there's something parked on the apron, but they definitely have a way of knowing of where they are themselves. Okay, so that's this complete. So we have our cargo on board. Let's go ahead then. Close our doors and actually do a little performance calculation. So we have 57 tons, giving us a takeoff weight of 63.7. So let's take 63,700. Now, we can see we've got quite a little bit of a spare over here because we are like 6 tons below the max takeoff weight. So let's actually have a look at some runway intersections that may or may not make sense. So we are parking up here, and we have to go for a runway 30. Let's see if we can take Foxtrot, even though I doubt it. If we can't take Fox, we have to take Charlie. So let's see, Foxtrot. No, we can't go at Foxtrot, we are too heavy for that. So let's take Charlie then. 26k takeoff, 37 degrees. So remember how I said earlier on that we might need quite a lot of power in order to get out? Here we go. We do need quite a lot of power to get out. So that's going to give us takeoff speeds 35, 37, 45. Let's go ahead. Flap 5 takeoff. We'll take the trim from here. 35, 37, 45. Very good. So that's all correct. Trim 4.6, that should be fine like this. Alright. So, and to quickly visualize our engine up procedure in case we have to do it, we can straight add to here, Lima Bravo Lima, then an immediate right turn, and we're going to intercept the radial inbound to the fix over here. That's 7 miles, enter the holding 120 mount right in turns. And in terms of the minimum safe altitude, what are we looking at? Yeah, we're holding him out here, minimum holding altitude 5,000, so we're gonna take it at 5,000 as well. Alright, so very good. That is pretty much our departure preparation completed. Let's do the safety inspection checklist and before start checklist down to the line. Surfaces and shocks checked, maintenance status checked, battery on, electric hydraulic pumps on, landing gear lever down, ship's library checked, IRS mode selectors, nav, gear pins. 1 to 3 removed. Light test. Oh, I think I didn't do that. So the light test is checked. Oxygen test 100%. Well, that's 100%. Alright, so yaw damper on. Air transfer display switches normal and auto. Did I actually do anything on the overhead before? I don't think I did. Oh boy. That's how easy it is to get out of the normal flow pattern, just because of a nasty little crash to desktop. So here we go. This is quite a bit better. But well, that's why we do those checklists, isn't it? I'll leave the COM one alone because ATC is going to come online very shortly. So, yaw damper on, F transfer display switches normal at auto. For the fuel for our flight to Berlin, we are going to need 6.6. We have 6.6 on board with 4 pumps on. Cabin utility IFE on, emergency exit lights armed, fast modes on, window heat on, air conditioning pressurization packs auto bleeds on set, press mode selector auto, instruments cross checked, auto brakes RTO. We have our hydraulics, normal, speed brake, down attempt, park and brake set, start from cutter to the switches normal, wheel, well, fire warning, checked, radius, radar, transponder set, standby, rudder and aileron trims 3 and 0, take a briefing discussed, PA complete, FMC studio set, M1 and IS backs automatic 26 carry reduced 35 37 45 set, stop trim 4.6 set, performance weight balance, sign sand, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stowed, slider windows and cockpit door locked, doors closed and passengers, well, we don't have any on board. So, dear boxes and pallets, welcome aboard our flight towards Berlin. Ah, no. You aren't listening anyway, are you? Alright. So we have Ljubljana Information Alpha, met report time 1630, expect ILS 30, runway induced 30, transition level 110, wind 110 at 5, visibility 10 kilometers, clouds scattered 5,000, scattered 7,000, temperature 23, dew point 14, QNH 1015, NOSIC. Now for the QNH, of course, since we don't have online services available on the flight, we're just going to leave it on 1013, and the rest of it is going to work like this. Right, so all of us know GSX and their pushback, so let's try to get them in a position as early as possible, and then we'll see when they're going to let us go. This might take a while, guys.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
No, you're not. There's nothing connected.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Yeah, that was the wrong frequency. Let's try 1.625.
Radio check. 5 by 5.
Double down at ground, good evening, contract 101, information alpha request, clearance to Berlin.
Locking gear.
Contract 101, Dobardan Ljubljana Tower, standby for clearance.
Okay, standing by.
Ground Freighter 9384, A320 information of requesting clearance to Berlin as well.
Oh, I see, I'm not the only one going to Berlin today.
Trader 9384, Dobardan Ljubljana ground.
In the meantime,
Destination as filed via Gimmicks 1 Zulu departure.
why is the other guy getting clearance and we are not?
0 and squawk 5304.
So, in the meantime, Andre, yes, I've turned off data streaming now.
Destination south, Gimmicks 1 Zulu departure. Initial climb flight level 120 and squawk 5304.
Then, question there, when is the 737-800 going to be released? Well, within now and the 31st.
Contract 101, are you ready to copy clearance?
Contract 101, ready to copy.
Contract 101, you're clear to your destination as filed via Gimmicks 1 Zulu departure. Initially climb flight level 120, stroke 5303.
Contract 101 is cleared to Berlin via the Gimmicks 1 Zulu departure, climb flight level 120, squawk 5303.
Contract 101, is the correct?
Okay, flight level 120, we have Gimmicks 1 Zulu and 5303. Okay, so APU is powering the aircraft, ground power can go, trucks can go, then let's go ahead. Contract 101, request pushback and startup.
Contract 101, push and start approved for runway 30, QNH 1015.
Push and start approved, runway 30, QNH 1015, contract 101. Come on, GSX. You can do it. Yes, they can. Okay, so nose off to the right hand side then.
Release parking brakes.
Before start checklist below the line. Air complex off, anti-collision light on, parking brake set, transponder out off, before start checks complete.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Starting wheel.
306, ready to closing.
Alrighty, and off we go.
Dobardan Ljubljana ground, I reach you 5 by 5.
Let's start engine number 2.
Adria 306, thank you. Request IFR clearance to Zurich.
Adria 306, you are close to destination as filed via Gimmicks 1 Zulu departure. Initial climb flight level 120, squawk 5306.
And Philip, as to why I've stopped to do briefings, that's just for the purpose of the videos, of the demonstration videos of the 800s here. As soon as we are over with the demonstrations, I'm going to return to 100% SOP flying. But at the moment, they are a little bit abbreviated, just to give you guys an impression of the 800. So that's just for a few days. Today's probably going to be the last one. So thereafter we'll do the full stuff once again. Right, you heard the click just now. Now you heard the second one. The first one was the voice recorder switch returning to auto. The second one was the starter disengaging. So, starting engine number 1. And 2.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmations for a good engine start.
And that's why I'm going to trick GSX, so confirm good engine start now.
Boeing 737 at stand 4 with information alpha request alpha clearance to Zurich.
2946, Dobardan Ljubljana ground, confirm your flight level is 7,000 feet.
Flight level is 300.
Jet 946, please repeat your last transmission.
Unlocking gear.
Requested flight level is 300. Jet 946.
Okay, static cutout. Oopsie,
Jet
welcome to
946,
GSX.
Roger, then it will be
And engine number 1 is stable.
final flight level.
So guys, you can see if you're using GSX for cargo operations, then
Truck disconnected.
Ready to copy
Bypass pin
clearance.
removed.
Jet 946.
it still has its issues, but it is
Right is clear.
Information
quite a bit better than it is
correct.
for a passenger operation, if you ask me.
As filed.
So flight
Parking
controls.
10 departure, initial climb flight level 120, stroke 5301.
And the before taxi checklist.
Clear to the
Generators
Civic
on,
via
APU off,
Phoenix
start switches
52,
continuous,
departure,
propit on, ATIs off,
flight
air conditioning,
120,
back throttle bleeds on,
Squawk
isolation off,
5001,
order,
Jet 946.
flaps, 5 required, 5 selected and the green light, step trim, 4.6 required set, start leavers idle intent, flight controls checked and recall checked. Before taxi checklist complete. Contract 101, request taxi.
Contract 101, taxi holding point Bravo, runway 30 via Mike and Alpha.
Taxi order point Bravo, runway 30 via Mike and Alpha, contract 101. Okay, we'll wait until the ramp agent has finally walked by. And then it's pretty much first to the right, then to the left onto the main taxiway, and then all the way to the end. So fairly easy taxi. Alright, conflict check. So, let's go. Clear on the left, and clear on the right. So the 800 is quite a bit heavier than the shorter ones, therefore a little bit more thrust is needed to get the plane moving, and thereafter a little bit more to keep it moving as well. And the other thing you are going to notice, especially when you're doing those 90-degree turns, is that you have to overshoot the flight deck a little bit more than in the previous shorter 737 versions. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of that when we get to the next taxiway intersection, like now. So you can see how the yellow line really goes a little bit further back, and then we can turn the airplane around to keep it on the yellow line. And this one I'm actually taking it gently. I could have taken it quite a bit harder, but that's all we wanted to see, isn't it?
Pendular for Data 9R3840 station east.
I really have to say, maintaining the center line is quite a bit harder from the outside view than it is from the inside. But let's take that as a signal and go back to our flight deck. So before takeoff, checklist down to the line. Conflict check, flaps 5, green light, step trim 4.6 set. Takeoff briefing. It's going to be a left seat takeoff on runway 30, flaps 5, noise abatement procedure 2, and we are using the pack throttle bleeds on, anti-ice off. Takeoff speeds 35, 37, 45, and the EO sits straight ahead with a right-hand turn onto 080, intercept the radial 120 in the the radial 300 inbound to the VOR, and at 7 miles we join the hold, climbing 5,000 feet. Normal sit, straight out, immediate left-hand turn, and called the gimmicks 1 Zulu departure, so straight ahead, maximum 210 knots in the turn. We contact departure when advised by the tower, climb to flight level 120, and it's going to be an RNAV operation by Lima Juliet 711 above 10,500 towards gimmicks. Any questions? Very good. Cabin secure before takeoff, checklist is complete down to the line.
Contract 101, contact Ljubljana Tower on 118.0. Bye bye.
118.0, contract 101, bye bye. Ljubljana Tower, Dobro done. Contract 101, ready for departure, able intersection Charlie.
Contract 101 via Charlie, Ljubljana wind 110 knots, runway 30, clear for takeoff.
Via Charlie, runway 30, clear for takeoff, contract 101. Before takeoff checklist below the line. MCP, set, transponder, TARA, strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checklist complete. Okay, Charlie next to the left, we're clear on the approach. So here you could see it very well how you have to overshoot with a flight deck in order to keep the center of the airplane actually on the runway. Now, the rotation. I'm sure that most of you have actually seen the video that I've published on rotation just today, so I'm not going to go into all those much details. All I am going to say, however, is that you have to be aware of the dead band at 7.5 to 8 degrees, all the way to 10 degrees. Alright. Timing. Stabilized. Set takeoff thrust. Takeoff thrust set, indications normal. Checked.
E1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb.
Gear up.
Contract 1010, contact Ljubljana radar frequency 135.275, bye-bye.
135.275, contract 101, bye-bye. Okay, let's put the autopilot on. So 135.275. Back up. Ljubljana radar, good evening, contract 101, passing 4,800, final flight level 120, gimmicks 1 Zulu. Flap 1.
Contract 101, Ljubljana radar, identified, climb to flight level 240.
Climb to flight level 240, contract 101. That, 240 checked. Flaps up. And that's bright outside. We have flaps up, no lights. Set standards. Passing flight level 60, climb flight level 240. VNAV after takeoff checklist. I wonder why I'm doing this. Normally I would relieve the cabin crew with this, but oh well. Habits. Okay, so we can delete the speed restriction, however, we still have to climb all the way 10,500 feet, so I'm just going to keep the airplane on the upspeed over here, so that we can actually make our speed restriction at Lima Juliet 711. Altitude restriction, of course. But let's give the first officer some sunshades as well. Like here, maybe. So remember what I said earlier on, that the airplane can do steep climbs like this, but in the 600 you would probably not even have to bother at all. You just give it full thrust and it's just going to be at flight level 200 at this point. But in the 800 you can see that you have to pay a little bit more attention, because we are still making it with quite a bit of margin over here. But nonetheless, you can see how you don't necessarily have too much margin. Now we can delete it. Now we're past the 10,500, so we can accelerate all the way to our final climb speed. So, Alice, am I doing the checklist by memory, or do I have a download anywhere? I do have the checklist right in front of me on my company's EFB. Unfortunately, however, I'm not allowed to share them, but if you just write along, then you basically can get them as well. But of course they are under copyright, so sharing them is not an option. However, you can just Google for 737 normal checklist, and you're going to find quite a bunch of them. Different operators are doing things quite differently, so in the Boeing it's not as harmonic as it is in the Airbus, and that everybody should basically be using the same checklist. But in the Boeing things can actually become a little bit more messy. So one airline is doing things one way, the other is doing them the other, and both of them kind of work. And checklists are always read, look, listen. So you read it, you look at the system, then you listen to the response of the other crew member. Then, Bilal, is PMDG going to increase the wing flex while taxiing like in real life? Because in real life the wing is bending and jumping around all the time. I said in yesterday's stream already that I'm not exactly an expert on wing flex because I just find it obsolete, but that's just my personal preference. However, let's put it that way. I do tend to say that normally in real life you would think that wing flex is stronger, but that's because you're seeing things from much closer up. So if you're looking at the 737 from distance, it doesn't flex as strong as it seems to flex when you're sitting inside it. However, all of that said, send a support ticket, ask the PMDG developers about it, but you will probably have to support your request by some footage or by other technical data. Wow, does the 737-800 allow opening the cockpit windows? The real one yes, the virtual one no, at least not yet. Then, SGT Lobster 06, is this live weather? I never see double layer clouds like this, looks amazing. First of all, I fully agree that it looks amazing, but unfortunately it's not live weather, but it's the scattered clouds preset, because the live weather is still causing crashes to desktop, just like the other online services of Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, for now, I'm just using this, and I have checked the wind forecast on the operational flight plan versus what's expected in my simulator. They are within 5 knots of one another, so even though technically speaking we have to use real weather on that sim, I'm kind of not seeing this as a code of conduct violation, because my wind is very, very similar to what you are going to have if you're using real weather. Luis, of course I can show you the outside.
101 expectation and on the command to the simulator left satellite.
Want to do this night, contact 101, bye bye. So, here we go. for some reason, ever since I've flown the 600, the 800 just looks much too long for me. But when I'm looking at the freighter, all of a sudden it seems to be right in proportion again. It's strange how different aircraft can make you feel totally different. Alright, back into the flight deck. Let's quickly get our aircraft all the way up to cruise level. 380 it's going to be today. And that is said once, twice, and 3 times. And monitoring 1 to 1.5. Okay, so Unicom 122.8 is where we are supposed to be. And somebody asked me earlier on if I could show a couple of wing views, and I think this is actually a very good moment for them. So let's go ahead and do that. Well, probably not, because it looks to me like there simply aren't any wing views available in the freighter. Is that really? Hold on, I just gotta check what I've been saying here, because... No, seems like it. Since we don't have any windows, since we don't have passenger cabin, we don't have any wing views available in this one. I apologize. But what we can do, of course, for a short while... Welcome to the camera drone. Ooh. Something like this, maybe? Is that what you're looking for? Oh man, this cloud is quite dark inside. I kinda like this one. Imagine a real-life pilot walking all the way to the winglet and attaching a GoPro to it in order to get views like this. That's probably straight away, how do I get fired in 3 seconds? Alright, so back to the flight deck for a short moment. As we have basically cleared all the clouds now, so let's turn off our anti-ice. Won't need that any longer. So in this airplane you can see we don't have the fixed window shades, the yellow ones, attached to the windows, because the real ones simply didn't have them. So in this airplane we only have the green shades available, and they can be moved all around the handrails up here. So if anybody of you ever wondered why these rails are installed on the flight deck, that's basically the reason why. We're going to clip those sun visors on them, and then you can move them around all the way like this. And they're also very handy to clip the headset cables to them. They're very, very handy for that, actually. Something else that some of you might come across to notice is that on the terrain display over here we are actually not seeing any terrain returns. And we did, however, have them on the departure. So the reason for that is that in this particular airplane we do not have a terrain radar that includes the peaks mode. Peaks mode basically means that you're going to see the peaks of the terrain all around as you're flying. And this airplane doesn't have them. Therefore, it is only going to show you terrain that is actually within 2,500 feet of your actual airplane altitude. So with this particular type of terrain display, you are only going to see returns when you are at low altitude, or when the mountains are at your altitude, depending on how you want to see it. Alright, this guy's going next to us. Can we spot him somewhere? No. Yep, there he is. There he is. Small point on the horizon over there next to my mouse. So, Kyle, can you change the registration and it updates in the livery? If not, are there general liveries where we can do that? No. So the registration is drawn onto the livery itself, so you cannot change it live. The reason for that is that different airlines are using different fonts for the registration. So Microsoft, however, can only use a single one, and therefore it would be impossible to actually do the registrations correctly if we used the Microsoft own method there. However, you could of course always request one with a painter where there is no registration drawn on them. But nonetheless, if you insert a custom registration in Microsoft Flight Simulator, it's still not going to draw them on the livery though. Then Faizan, will there be any support of the US Navy P-8 Poseidon? No. The Poseidon is not planned at the moment. I don't know if it's going to come in the future. Maybe, maybe not. But at the moment it's not planned. Then, 737NG123. Does the cargo door open the main one, and is there an interior? Yes, the cargo door definitely opens, and of course the cargo cabin is modeled as well. So, if you're going a little bit back to the beginning of the stream, that's where you could actually see the door open and GSX loading our cargo in action. Tom, yes I am on VATSIM. Yes, I had a CTD right at the beginning of the live stream. But when I had that CTD, I still had some online services turned on, and that's how it happened. Then, Luis, have I ever flown to Madeira in real life or in the simulator? In the simulator, yes. In real life, unfortunately, not yet. Cabanos, can I fly the next flight from the first officer's seat? I'll think about it. Riserfly, can you get different winglets depending on the livery? Yes, of course. So, you have the standard blended winglets, the one that we have in this particular airplane as well. Let me quickly do this. So, we have the standard blended winglets, those. And then we have the split scimitars as well, which are the ones that you will find, for example, on the TUI airplanes or in United Airlines. We have that lower part looking pretty similar to the Max, but not the same actually. Beluga, the destination is going to be Berlin, and thereafter we're going to fly onwards towards Zurich. Afton, is there a visual difference between the two cargo variants? Yes, first of all, we have one difference on the panels. So this one is the Boeing converted freighter, which has the cargo fire panel look like this. So it has the main deck up here as well. And then in the Boeing converted freighter, in the BDSF, you would have the extra panel down here on the pedestal, and therefore rearranged pedestal configuration. And on the outside you of course see the visual differences as well. So on the Boeing converter freighter, the cargo door is a little bit further backwards. So in the BDSF it would be a little bit further forward, for example up here on the beginning of the P, while on this plane it's just over here and it's the middle between the P and the R. And Reisefly, actually both of them are passenger conversions. The difference is that the BCF is the Boeing converted freighter, so Boeing themselves did the conversion, or so they say, because it actually is 3 different Chinese companies doing it under license of Boeing. Then, TFS 2020, what is the goal of the winglets TUI uses? Is it for aerodynamics or more fuel efficiency? Well, it actually is kind of both. The difference is that the split scimitar winglets, that's the correct name, split scimitar winglets, that the split scimitar winglets are going to be more efficient when the airplane is flying at high speed. However, at lower speeds, they are actually less efficient because of the increased drag due to the weight. So due to the weight, not the increased drag at low speeds. So it makes sense to install split scimitar winglets from approximately 2 hours and a bit flight time onwards. So if you have aircraft that are primarily doing flights longer than 2 hours, for example, that's what TUI is doing, they have an average flight length of around 3 hours or so, then it makes sense to install the split scimitar winglets, while if you have aircraft doing mainly short flights, like for example, or the one we're flying right now, or say for example a Ryanair aircraft, they have an average flight time of 1 hour and 20, then it would not make sense to install split scimitar winglets because they would actually burn more fuel. 737NG123, does the oxygen mask have a green light for the night? You are probably referring to that small green LED that you find in some airplanes. Actually, not in this one. But I would hardly actually call that a light. That's really more like a small LED there. Reisefly, does the plane have a non-winglet version like the Zibo? It does not have a non-winglet version at the moment. It's in consideration for a possible future version, but for now it does not have that. So for now it is exclusively blended winglet and split scimitar winglet. Which are, by the way, what 99% of the airlines are using. Then, AlphaStar, what does the CWS button on the autopilot panel do? So, that's these 2 buttons, this one and this one. Let me put the autopilot back in. So, what do they do? The mode is called control wheel steering, and they basically turn your 737 into an Airbus. So, they take away all the trim requirements, and if you are in CWS, it's going to hold the bank at the pitch that the pilot is commanding. Unless the bank is less than 6 degrees, then it's going to roll wings level for you. So it's basically like the Airbus mode. However, I really don't like the way it flies in CWS, in the real one that is. And equally I don't like it in the PMDG, but that actually speaks for the PMDG, because if the real one's shit, then you name it. So the main use of it actually is in severe turbulence. So if you are running into severe turbulence, then you should not be trying to maintain your altitude, but just remain your attitude. And that's where the CWS mode comes in very handy. Because in CWS it's just going to try to maintain its position in space, and that's it. Tiger T40, is there any chance you could introduce an option to move certain panels around on the pedestal? For instance, Southwest has the head-up guidance system control panel on the top left and transponder on the top right. I would honestly wish for this to be possible, but at the moment, unfortunately, it isn't. I have made that request for the developers in the past, but it had been turned down by then. Maybe it's a good time to just ask again, but I personally wouldn't build up any hope for that. Reisefly, does the non-winglet version even exist in real life? Yes, it does. But there are hardly any 737s left that don't have winglets. I'm sure you're going to find a couple. Then, Mr. Holy Rider, is there any news about the weather radar? The latest information that I have, which may not be up to date, is that the weather radar will have to wait until software update 10 is officially released. And when the software update 10 is officially out, then PMDG is going to look into the API and will start implementing it and see what can be done with the API at all. But to my knowledge, that requires the software update 10 to be released publicly first. I could be mistaken though on this, so don't take this for granted. The Barameko, I just wish they would update the FMC and VNAV. Like in real life, the FMC now has the VNAV button with ATC and so on pages. Well, that don't say like in real life, because in real life it is an option. What you're referring to is the FAMS MCDU, so the Future Air Navigation System MCDU, which features the CPDLC buttons and the ACAS buttons. There are airlines which are still using the, let's call it conventional style CDU, like we see it in the PMDG 737, and I have asked for it, but to my knowledge it is not planned at the moment. Firefly, is there any 737-300 in progress for Microsoft Flight Simulator? No. At least not that I know. For sure not by PMDG. Then, Tyler, are you able to say if the bugs that were mentioned in the 800 announcement have been fixed? I don't remember which bugs these were, if I'm honest. A lot of them have been fixed, but so I shouldn't say a lot of them, but a lot of bugs have been fixed, but probably not every single one of them. So that's pretty hard to say, actually. Tom, do you know what PMDG will be working on after the 737 group? Yes, the 777. Now, after the 777, they'll do the 747, and thereafter the 737 MAX. I hope that answers Dominican Red 83's question as well. And dress rules. Need to fix your model matching in VATSIM. Yep, I definitely need to. Actually, I tried to do that today by installing the latest Alpha India Group model matching and running the model matching magic tool, but for some reason it didn't work. In Veslan, there is no information on the progress of the 777 at all at the moment. And Leonard VG, yes, where is that? Right here. And he's going to be on your computer as well in, well, in a maximum of 7 days. Maybe faster. Maybe faster. I don't like this turn at first. Let's go direct Guthrie. So, Benjamin, what's my personal favorite of all aircraft? Well, that's honestly a very good question that I cannot really answer. I tend to say the favorite one is the one that you're sitting in at the moment. But if I'm totally honest with you, I do find the A330 very nice. The A350 as well. If I'm perfectly honest, not so much the 787. So A330, A350, I would say those are really nice aircraft. The 350 probably more than the 330, even though it does seem to take a little to get used to the looks of the cockpit. Roberto, the 737-800 will initially not include the EFB, but I've done a video with an EFB update not so long ago, maybe a week ago or something. So the very easy version is that the EFB is expected to go into beta mid next month, and Robert does not estimate the beta to take very long. And 737NG123, yes, the clicking noise is from the standby altimeter. Now, for a reason that is totally beyond me, many 737 pilots appear to know that the circuit breaker for that standby altimeter clacker is located somewhere over here. And for a reason that is totally beyond me, it does happen when you're taking over an airplane from time to time that this circuit breaker is popped. But of course nobody would ever intentionally pull a circuit breaker. Nobody would do that. Ever. Never. You get the idea. Then, yeah, in real life, is there a moving map on the iPad? How do you know what village or city you fly over? By maps, airport recognition, or the display, etc. So, on my airline's iPad, we do not have a moving map that would include information like that. Of course, we have our en route chart, and that one is available as a moving map. However, you need, or your EFB, so in our case an iPad, needs a GPS connection for that, which you rarely have in cruise. Therefore, how do we know which village or city we are flying over? Honestly, we don't, and we don't care either, because it makes no difference. Flyer, what type of planes can I fly with my license, including general aviation? So I've got a single engine piston license, so anything single engine piston. Then I could renew my multi-engine piston, multi-engine instrument and single engine instrument ratings, but those are expired at the moment because I just couldn't bother, because I'm just not doing it. And then I'm type rated on the 737-300 through 900 and the MAX. Okay, so we're just about closing our top of descent already. Let's have a look if we can actually get a destination HOTAS. Oh, lovely. 2 HOTASes on the same frequency. Now, if you want to have a laugh, that's the case for the real Berlin as well, because if you're approaching from anywhere in the south, then Düsseldorf is using the same HOTAS frequency, and usually Düsseldorf has the stronger transmitter. That's why you usually hear Düsseldorf all the way until you're like below 10,000 feet on the descent into Berlin. And I can tell you that's a pain. Luckily on VATSIM we can just make a double click on the HOTAS and then we're getting our HOTAS. So we have information Golf, and that is 25 minutes old. Expect runway 7 left and 7 right, parallel dependent approaches, transition level 60, wind is on the runway at 7 knots, KVK 24 degrees 1018. Now since we're using standard weather scenario, I'll preset 1013, and we could actually use this moment in time while it lasts to set up for our approach into Berlin. Let's get our charts out. Oh no, I'm hoping for runway 7 left because freighters are parking on the old Schönefeld apron. But you never really know what you might get in Berlin. They might give you the southern runway and then you'll have to taxi all the way over. But we'll see when we get there. So we'll probably be parking somewhere over here in the north. If you have a look at the runway, that's why it makes total sense to go on runway 7 left instead of 7 right and then taxiing all the way across. So the approach, we'll hope for the ILS 7 left and we'll do the ADCUP 7 left transition. So that's the plan of what we want to do today. Let's go ahead then. For the shortcut, we've got the Bravo 562 below level 70 already, so that's pretty much the best shortcut we can possibly expect, I guess. And that is in the system already, so not a lot really to do there. What we can do, however, is 250 knots below 10,000 feet, forecast transition level 70 and 1013 on the QNH. The rest of it is standard atmosphere today, so we're just going to leave this blank. Runway 07 left, it's going straight in, and we are looking at, what's that, 114 miles, 10 miles, and a 4-mile range. So we're burning, what's that, 900 kilos of fuel. I'll calculate with the 800 due to the possible shortcut that we're going to get. Give us a landing weight of 60.5 tons. Now let's do a little bit of calculation over here. Or rather, let's answer traffic control first, who's just sent us a contact me. 133.575.
Servus. QNH 1018, cleared Hamburg via Oscar, 9 Echo, flight plan route, squawk 1000.
Okay, so while they're busy, let's fill out the landing en route.
Oscar, Echo, squawk 1000.
Oder das Charlie, korrekt?
Begrüßung.
München Radar Low, contract 101, flight level 380 in Montgomery.
Contract 101, München, Servus, Radar Contact, proceed direct ADCUP.
Third ADCUP, contract 101.
Radar, unit 325, flight level.
Okay, that's nice, direct to ADCUP.
Irving 325, München, Servus, squawk 1000.
Squawk 1000, correct.
Okay, so basically we want to vacate the runway at the end, and here's the quick formula of how you can calculate the landing distance you need. In flaps 30 order brake 3 you usually need 17 to 1800 meters of landing runway. Flaps 40 reduces the landing run required by around 1 to 200 meters, and if you use order brake 3 instead, order brakes 2 instead of 3, it takes around about 300 meters longer. So if we have a look here, we have 3,600 meters runway, and we want to vacate at kilo 3, so we're looking at about something like 2,000 meters ish. So what we're going to do is flap 30 landing. So let's just quickly put the landing weight in. We said it's going to be 60.5. So we'll do a flap 30 landing using order brakes 3, and that's going to get us off at kilo 3 with a little bit of manual braking to let the airplane roll to the end, to the exit. Oops. So that's about all that we need to do for this one. For the setup itself, ILS 7 left. By the way, is it only me or is this layout of the Jefferson charts?
Irving 325, radar contact, proceed look.
Not mine, let's put it that way. I find it ugly. I honestly find it ugly. But I guess nobody asks me about it. 065, 065. Oh, that was too fast.
Direct ADCUP plus 160.
Okay, 6565. Frequencies 110.7 minimums. What's that? 344.
Lufthansa 198, contact Bremen 123, decimal 225. Tschüss. Dankeschön.
Alright, since we have basically discussed the approach while I've been setting it up, I'm just going to skip over the approach briefing, so let's go ahead with the descent checklist. Pressurization, land height 150, anti-ice off, cross fuel, discussed, ice and outbox, checked and set, descent checklist complete. I kinda like it, how the sunrise in the flight deck is reflecting a little bit of the light over here. Here we go, here we see it. That's a nice little feature, isn't it? Also really nice how on the freighters you can see the remnants of it once being a passenger aircraft. So we still have the outlines of the overwing exits over here and stuff like this. Contract 101, descent flight level 320. Set, 320 checked, alternate event, and down we go. Then there's a question from the Protector. Hi Manuel, compared to the 737-700, does it fly better or worse? If I'm totally honest with you, it is flying a little bit worse, but that's because the real one is flying worse. So you will definitely notice that the airplane feels a little bit more sluggish due to the extra mass and the extra energy, and the extra energy really is the problem, so slowing it down is a lot harder than it is on the 700.
Eurowings 225, crashing, Eurowings 325, descent flight level 200.
Ramus 95, am I using MSFS live weather? No, I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because it's still causing crashes to desktop as of this moment.
Good evening, the Austrian 2 Alpha, inbound best flight level 300.
Austin 2 Alpha, München, Servus, radar contact, proceed direct Lucro.
Direct to Lucro.
Butterfly, can you use the Norwegian 737 later? I plan to continue with the Prime Air livery for the simple reason that I want to fly on to Zurich, and the event in Zurich is ending at 10 o'clock German time, so 18 UTC. And if I go on to change livery in the meantime, then things are just not going to work out. And Googly Man, is the EFB going to be like the Class 1 or Class 3 Boeing EFB that was in P3D, or is it going to be more like Phoenix or Fly-by-Wire style? It will be a tablet EFB, like you see it in the vast majority of airlines these days.
Contact 101, descent flight level 200, rate of descent 2000 feet per minute or greater.
Contact 101, descent level 200, 2000 feet per minute or greater. Set, 200 checked, and BS 2000.
Contact 101, 2500 feet per minute or greater.
2500 feet a minute or greater, contract 101. You must be getting nervous.
Lufthansa 6 Tango descent flight level 200.
However, this is pretty much exactly what you're getting in German airspace in real life all the time as well. So they always give you rate of climbs, rate of descents, and everything. So this is pretty much exactly what I would expect in real life as well. And of course they take you below the optimal path because, well, fuel, who needs fuel? You can waste that, right? Nobody cares about the environment. Or so. Metal Eye, thank you so much for the $9.99 donation. Thank you very, very much. It's much appreciated. Island Scotty, we're flying towards Berlin, and then we'll go on for a second flight towards Zurich.
3 Alpha request descent.
Austrian 2 Alpha descent flight level 200.
Austrian Alpha descent flight level 200.
Lufthansa 6 Tango speed 280.
Speed 280.
And I missed a post from Cabanos up there.
280 or greater.
Contract 101, speed 280 or greater. Yep, we've planned to do more than 280 anyway. So there was a question up there from Cabanos if I'm going to be a 777 beta tester as well, and the answer is yes. And adding on a little bit to the earlier question about if the 800 flies better or worse than the 700. Well, the 800 most certainly needs more pre-planning, and I'll have 2 videos about that up very soon.
Proceed direct Lando, descent flight level 200.
Direct Lando und
Then Pedro, Zibo or PMDG 737? I cannot comment on that because I haven't tried the Zibo. What I can tell you is the PMDG is very, very good. But I can't tell you if the Zibo might be better. Even though I doubt it, but I cannot tell you. The reason I doubt it, by the way, is just because there is not very much space ahead over the PMDG. At least I couldn't imagine what you could do significantly better.
Contact Bremen radar on 123.225. Fiddle, Horandecker.
123.225.
Gerardo, is there any plan to add takeoff warning test? I honestly don't quite know what you mean with that, because the takeoff conflict warning has been implemented all the time already. So it is there. And for those of you asking which airline I'm flying for, I cannot answer that because my airline does not allow social media.
Contract 101, feedback is 4,000.
Contract 101, squawk 1000.
Really good, hello. Eurowings 95 Tango, flight level 270 inbound Odegu.
Alright.
Eurowings 95 Tango, München, Servus for 1000.
So, which speed are we planned at? 296. Well, let's reduce to 296 then. Don't need to speed either. ATC restriction is 280 or more, so you can just go back to idle here, save a little bit at least.
Contact 101, report speed to Bremen 123, 225, tschüss.
123, 225, contact 101, tschüss.
Commence your left turn now, direct Delta Bravo 572.
Bremer low, contract 101, descend your flight level 200, 2,500 feet a minute or greater, 280 knots or greater, inbound Achtung.
Contract 101, Bremen radar confirmed, dialed in P5, descent level 120.
Descent level 120, contract 101. Confirm the rate of descent still applies?
For now, yes. Passing level 200, 2,000 or greater.
Passing level 200, 2,000 or greater, contract 101. Okay, about to go back into the clouds, engine anti-ice on. And the seatbelts, well, I mean, we're afraid of, doesn't matter, but I just like to keep these things in the correct order anyway. Just my personal preference. By the way, a view I really like in this plane is like this. Like the jump seat view. Like what all flight simmers basically want to experience at some point in their career. I really like this in the sim. But let's go back to the one where we actually want to be, right? Metal Eye, hope you're shipping the PMDG 737 in that prime air. Maybe. But I can't engage in release date speculation because I don't know anything about it. So I don't have any better information on that than you do. What I can tell you is I'm flying a very fresh beta that just came out this morning with a couple more updates. And I guess there's probably going to be one more, but I don't know.
Level more into Austrian 2 Alpha, inbound Nupro, flight level 200.
Austrian 2 Alpha, go dump, identified, descent level 120.
Elling, do I know if the PMDG EFB will look like the one from P3D or like an iPad?
Contact 101, speed 260 knots, rate of descent is cancelled.
Contact 101, speed 260 knots, on rate. Level change.
260 knots exactly.
Affirm 260 knots exactly, contact 101.
Yeah, perfect.
Nice cloud surfing.
Contact 101, this is your speed to arrival 126, decimal 425, ciao.
Contact 101, speed arrival, and you got blocked on the frequency.
Contact 101, 126, decimal 425.
126, decimal 425, contact 101. See ya.
This 97 Golf, direct Bamki.
Berlin radar low, contract 101, reducing speed 260 knots, descent level 120 inbound Abgib, and we bring you information hotel.
Contract 101, arrival identified to take right, expect runway 07 left and descent flight level 110.
Runway 07 left, descent flight level 110, contract 101.
Dinner
1437,
inbound Delta Bravo 531, expecting 07 right, descending flight level 120.
Dinner 1437, arrival identified, information.
So when you're changing airspeed, be sure always to update the VNAV page, so that you get a better VNAV path information here.
We will check hotel.
Looks like we're a little bit high at the moment.
07 right, descent flight level 100, in 140.
Contract 101 for sequencing, turn right, heading 030.
Heading 030, contract 101. Okay, no need to do anything about the rate, as he's already telling us out of sequence.
120, information Mike.
You know what, we have such nice weather over here. Let's fly a little bit ourselves.
Expect 07 right and descend to 110 Austrian 2 Alpha.
Austrian 2 Alpha, radio speed 250 knots, maintain present heading.
Speed 250 knots and present heading Austrian 2 Alpha.
Suburban hello, Swiss 906 Charlie, passing 2006.
So really got to tell you, the 800 is an absolute joy to fly. Once you're used to how it flies, once you're used to the extra inertia, to the extra energy,
Maybe said 160,
it's really fun. It's really fun.
Dinner 1437, maintain present heading.
Maintain present heading, Finnair 140.
Of course, there's one big upside of hand flying the aircraft. But if you're approaching a small bank of clouds like this, you can simply go ahead and do that.
Austrian 2 Alpha, turn left heading 290.
Left heading 290, Austrian 2 Alpha.
Contract 101, descent flight level 100.
Contract 101, descent flight level 100. Set. 100 check.
And
as soon as we're below the clouds, we'll just pull the speed back out since we still have a speed restriction. That's just a very nice way to avoid a little bit of turbulence and a little bit of inconvenience for the passengers. And if it's only for a very short period of time, then it doesn't really matter if you're exceeding that speed restriction for a very short time. But of course, as always, be careful with it, so don't overdo these things.
Contract 101, turn left heading 350.
Contract 101, left heading 350.
Boeing 325, speed 250, not Al-Qaeda. Runway 23 Foxtrot, turn left heading 280.
Left 280, 234. Same Tag, Yellow Silver 6 Tango, descending 120, passing 170, heading 035.
Hansa 6 Tango, arrival at O identified, to take correct, expect runway 07 right, reduce speed to 30.
B230, expect 7 right, Hansa 6 Tango.
Swiss 96 Charlie, direct outbound.
Direct outbound, Swiss 96 Charlie.
Eurowings 325, descent altitude 5000 feet, KNH 1018.
5000 feet,
Contact 101, turn for the left heading 300.
Left lane 300, contact 101. So I'm reducing my rate of speed here at the moment because
45 November correct, departure
if you're hand flying a plane you really should maintain sterile cockpits for the most part.
Einer 2-3 Foxtrot, proceed direct outbound.
Direct outbound, 2-3 Fox.
Header 1437, contact director 121 decimal 125, bye.
Contact approach 121, 125, deny 14, please, thank you.
Alpine 45 November Quebec, turn right heading 290.
Man, this is a nice view, isn't it?
45 November Quebec, turn right heading 110. Eurowings speed 5, reduce to 220. Austin Driver, descent flight level 100.
Descent 100, Austrian Surfer.
Hansa 6 Tango, descent flight level 110.
Descending 110, level 6 Tango.
Ryanair 23 Foxtrot, connect Bremen 123 decimal 2 to 5, bye.
123 to the 5, alright.
This is 96 Charlie, contact Bremen 123 decimal 2 to 5, bye.
123 225, 96 Charlie, good night.
Contact 101, descent, contact 101, speed 250 knots, descent altitude 5000 feet, KNH 1018.
Contact 101, speed 250 knots, descent 5000 feet, KNH 1018. Set, 5000 feet checked, 250 knots, and set altimeter. We'll use 1013 here because we're not using real weather. However, the wind matches pretty much what we have in real life at the moment.
45 November Quebec, proceed direct Hotel Lima Zulu, and climb flight level 120. Flight level 120.
120. Alpine 45.
Contact 101, turn left heading 280.
Left lane 280, contact 101. And the 10 checks. It's balanced with
Hansa 6
on.
Tango, turn left heading 290.
Lights on, bang 25, air compress, 380 set 5 miles on. Vehicle check, 1.5. Deselect the 10 checks.
Alpine 45 November Quebec, climb flight level 160.
Climbing flight level 160. Alpine 45.
The plane really is a joy to hand fly. It really is.
Alpine 45 November Quebec, contact Bremen 123 decimal 2 to 4, vorbei.
123 225, Alpine. Alpine.
Austin 12, descent flight level 60, reduce speed 220.
Descend 60 and speed 20 knots, Austrian 12.
Eurowings 49 Charlie Mike, on Big Resty.
49 Charlie Mike, 4000 feet.
Confirm Eurowings 49 Charlie Mike. Confirm last station, Eurowings 49 Charlie Mike.
You're blocking each other. Yes, yes.
I guess so, you're wing 49 Charlie Mike, turn right heading 260.
I don't really know what I should do right now. Keep the sun visor where it is, because this would definitely be blinding me, or just enjoy the nice views and get the sun visor away. I don't know.
Contact 101, speed 220 knots.
Contact 101, speed 220 knots.
And 101, contact director 136 decimal 1, bye-bye.
136 decimal 1, contact 101, bye-bye.
The 12 out, China setting 270.
Director, hello, contract 101.
Contact 101, hello, right turn heading now 320.
Right hand 320, contract 101. Right, so that's probably more or less our final turn, so let's put that one on top.
Pinner 147, contact tower 118.8.
Tower 118.
Of course, we're ending up a little bit high. So let's take our first lesson here as to how to manage energy in the Boeing 737NG. So what we can do right now, we have a speed of 220 anyway, and the plane descends pretty well at that speed and flap 5. So let's get our flaps out to the 5 position. You're going to see how easy the airplane is going to decelerate.
Contact 101, descend to altitude 4000 feet.
Contact 101, descend altitude 4000 feet. Oops. This is what I wanted.
Contact tower 118.8, you doing?
And flap 5. And if you take the speed brakes to it, so now we're going 220 knots, flaps 5 and the speed brakes, then we'll end up at approximately 2,300 feet a minute.
101, right 330.
Right 330, contract 101.
Director, hello, Yoke 49 Charlie Mike. Yoke 49 Charlie Mike, hello, right turn heading 300. Right turn heading 300, Yoke 49 Charlie Mike.
The other option you have, since we're not flying an airplane that has the short field performance kit, is to reduce the speed to 180 knots and use flaps 10. But that only makes sense if you don't have a short field performance aircraft. In the meantime, let's do a frisk check. So our frequency is 110.7 on both sides. The rings are around runway 7 left, 10-4, addons, ILS Berlin northeast, twice, standby instruments set, and the course is 065. Approach checklist. Altimeters and instruments, cross check, approach rates checked and set. Approach checks complete. Contract 101, can we start speed reduction?
Hey, I'm reduced speed 200, I call you.
200, contract 101.
Contact 101, turn right heading 040, clear left 7 left.
Right, 040, clear left 7 left, contact 101. Okay, 040.
Austrian 12.
Keep the speed under sensible control. And approach mode is armed.
Wing 49 Charlie Mike, 200.
We have localizer and glide slope captured.
Contact 101, speed 180 knots or greater until 6 miles final.
180 or greater until 6 miles, contract 101.
Wing 49 Charlie Mike, right 330, descend 3000.
Right, so runway heading 067, missed approach. 5,000 feet. Set. Contract 101 established.
So 101, radar connect tower 1188.
118.8, contract 101.
Wing 49 Charlie Mike, right 350. Right 350, Wing 49 Charlie Mike. Austrian 2 Alpha, right turn heading 3.
Hello, contract 101, ILS 7 left.
Contact 101, Berlin Tower, good evening, wind check 05 to 6 knots, 2 departures, 1 arrival ahead.
Watch out.
Vacating Mach 6 in 147, 07 left.
Finna 1437, contact ground 121.75.
Ground 1217, thank you, Finnair 1437.
Right, 19er. With 05 to 6 knots, contact 07 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. You're 325, expect late landing clearance.
So, doing 200 knots over ground, that means we'll actually need 1,000 feet a minute here in order to get the airplane down.
072 Romeo.
On the glide slope, so a little bit more to actually keep it flying into the glide slope.
2500.
Next plane 7.5 miles is probably going to try and put another aircraft in between. But that's not our problem. Let's help it a bit with the speed reduction due to the tailwind as well, so flaps 10. And since what you're going to notice now is that the leading edge flaps are coming into the full extended position, so as soon as we are resuming our normal rate of descent now, since we are back on the glide, we are going to notice that the airspeed is actually going to start to reduce. So flaps 10, if you don't have a short field performance aircraft, and you do have tailwind, it's a very, very good tool to actually keep the airplane flying on
Good
the
evening, run F412, holding Lima 207 left.
You're 41 for Berlin Tower, good evening, hold shot.
Right, so gear down, flaps 15.
Ryanair 19er, contact Bremen radar on 134, 45 shot.
I'll just cheat with those switches because I don't have an FO. So, landing checks. Start switches, continuous, recall, checked, speed brakes, arm green light, landing gear, down 3 green, auto brake, reset, holding at flaps. Flaps 25, always also a good tool if you need speed reduction.
1000.
Check. You can see how hard it is to slow the airplane down with just a slight tailwind here now. Okay, flaps 30. But we're just about entering the stable criteria now. And we're about approaching the 500 foot gate, so it's alright. Flaps 30, 30, green light, holding at landing lights. And we're back on profile. Contract 101, short final.
Back Charlie Mike for your rollout planning.
What?
Yes, currently
Oh
blocking
no,
Mike
come on.
5, so Pacific Gate and Mike 6 for later, with 6 knots on the 07 and right, clear to land.
Continue for now.
Vacate, Mike 6 or later, runway 07 right, clear to land, using 120 Mike.
Contract 101, very short final.
30. 20.
Go around.
Emperor 107, with 6 knots on the 07 left to land.
Contract 101 going around. Okay, positive rate, gear up.
Euro 72 Romeo, contact Bremen radar 120,
So, 400 feet. LNAV. Flight directors on.
120, that's 65.
And flap 15, yep.
Romeo and 20 Alpha localizer 07 right.
Flap 5. She's just forgot our landing clearance, I can't believe it.
minute 5 on Lima 3.
Flap 1.
Contract 101, contact Bremen radar on 145 ciao.
134.425, contract 101, ciao. Okay, flaps up.
You're 325, contact ground on 117.
Same radar low, contract 101 on the missed approach, climbing 5,000 feet.
Contract 101, Berlin departure low identified, climb flight level 60.
Climb flight level 60, contract 101.
Good evening.
Berlin arrival, guten Abend, Ryanair 2 Juliet uniform, inbound Delta Bravo 527.
Inbound Mobile. Bearing 7 to Romeo, hello, departure identified, climb via split flight level 160.
1 to go.
Rainer 19er, contact Bremen radar 123.225.
Vertical speed 1000, autopilot 1. Contact 101, left heading 240, and if it's by any chance possible, could you get us in rather early, because we are on a live stream here and want to go on to Zurich, so that go around was really, well, unfortunate.
Roger.
Okay, so, half the takeoff checklist done. So, air condition and pressurization, that's 3.8, maintaining and set.
Bring 7 to Romeo, stop climb flight level 1.
Altimeters, flight level 60, so standard maintaining level 60. Okay, so let's put the new approach in. It's gonna be 7 left again, I guess, radar vectored.
Contact 101, call arrival 126.425.
126.425, contact 101.
Boeing 7 to Romeo, climb flight level 130.
130, this was heading 320, turn right heading 330, please.
330, Tete 934.
Berlin, hello, contact 101.
Contact 101, direct expansion elevator identified, speed 2 to the 1, you can expect 7 left again.
2 to the north, 7 left, contact 101.
Hi, Billing, good evening, Ryanair 4, go Patron.
So, let's do a quick setup over here.
Elevator identified, information hotel, expect runway 07 left, and reduce speed to 5.
That's pretty much all still as it is supposed to be, so... For the landing flap, we'll do flap 30 once again, and order brakes 3, so basically the same thing that we already did before. As for the go-around itself, I don't see the need for a lot of discussion as to why it happened. ATC forgot our landing clearance and that's it. Okay, so, descent checklist. Pressurization, land at 150, anti-ice off, approach with fuel discussed, IS and outbox. Checked and set, descent checklist complete. So, that was a pity that ATC forgot our landing clearance. But ATC decided to focus on another one. Contact 101, descent 5000 feet, QNH 1018. Yep, what's that doing now? Here we go. We're going to use 1013 since we don't fly at real weather.
Eurowings 95 Tango, arrival at AO identified, turn left heading 360, information hotel, expect 7 right.
We have information hotel on board, left 360 and expect 7
Eurowings 95 Tango, speed 250 knots, descent.
So Crimson Ghost, streamer privilege clearance request, yeah. I mean, the honest thing is...
Contact 101, contact director again, 136, done.
Contract 101, sorry, say again the frequency.
Contact 101, frequency 136, decimal 1.
136 is 1, contract 101. See you later. Or hopefully not, at least not on this flight.
Yep.
To 0 and information, further information.
Left 120, descent 3000 feet. I call you back shortly for the intercept.
120, descent 3000.
Alright, hello, contract 101.
Contact 101, hello again, speed 200.
200, contact 101. Minimum clean will have to do. So yeah, I planned my day very, very tight for this one in order to make it with ATC, so if we're going to miss the ATC at Zurich now, just because of this go-around, that would be very unfortunate. That's why I've made this request. Normally I would just go on like anyone else, but I see some departure delay coming as well, so yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen here. And we have to see if we can make it or not in the end.
Contact 101, descent altitude 4000 feet, then left heading 180.
Contact 101, descent 4000 feet and left heading 180. Okay, 4,000 feet, vertical speed. But that looks like a very, very quick second approach. Okay, first check. We still have 110.7, the rings are still around 7 left, 10 4, addons, ILS Berlin, northeast, both sides, standby set, course is 065. Approach checklist, altimeter instruments, set cross checked, approach aids checked and set, approach checklist complete.
Traffic. Traffic.
Oh, where is he?
Freighter 938
Not here. Over there! Ah, that's the simulator inserting an aircraft at Mach 5000 once again. That makes the TCAS go mad. Traffic over here. Might about just start reducing our speed. Flaps 1.
Patrick 101, speed 180 knots until 6, that's fine, expect the intercept from the south.
180 knots until 6, expect intercept from south, contact 101.
Patrick 101, traffic is an Airbus AC-20 on your 12 o'clock position, 3 miles.
We have him. Yeah. Contact 101, traffic inside. Over there he is. But he's 1,000 below, so that doesn't matter. Okay, flap 2. For those of you who ask me what it's good for, that's exactly it. Because flap 5 would have been a lot of drag now, but flap 2 gives us exactly 180 knots like ATC wants. That's the main use of flap 2 in the 737.
4000,
Contact 101, turn left heading 040, clear Sierra 07 left, report established.
Contact 101, left 040, clear LS 07 left, will go. Okay, so as the controller said, we are going to trust the localizer. That's expected, he cleared us like this. Probably because he wanted to build up a little bit of separation with the preceding Airbus that he's just informed us about. But that is alright. So we'll wait until the aircraft has crossed the localizer, and then when we're on the inbound heading, we're going to arm Warlock once again.
The 2014 after 10 miles final, speed 180 knots until 6 miles final. After the 2014, speed 180 knots until 6 miles final. Commander 39 Echo Tango, left turn heading 140.
Left heading 140, Commander 39 Echo Tango.
Director Ryanair 2 Juliet uniform.
Ryanair 2 Juliet uniform, hello, turn right heading 320.
Right turn 320, Ryanair 2 Juliet uniform.
Ryanair 2 Juliet uniform, descent 4000.
Anti-swing 4000, Ryanair 2 Juliet uniform.
To the 2014, connect tower 118 place.
118 yes.
Warlock captured. Runway heading 065.
Commander 39 Echo Tango, left 100, clear LS 07 right, report established localizer.
Left heading 100, clear LS 7 right and record.
Warlock capture, flaps 5.
Uniform, 200.
And 5,000 feet for the missile touch side. The reason I'm going flap 5...
101, connect tower 118 is Malay, good night.
118 is Malay, contract 101, good night. This time hopefully including a landing clearance.
1.7, you were cleared for takeoff. What about the take approach?
Yeah, sir, I must have been blocked or something, but sorry about that. Clear for takeoff, get on 1%.
The reason why I just went flap 5 straight away when we intercepted the glide slope is because the 737 is otherwise going to gain airspeed. We don't want that. Berlin Tower, low again, contract 101, ILS 07 left.
Contact 101, Berlin Tower, good evening, wind check 640 knots. Only one departure, so it will work out.
Hey, hey!
Alpha 15996, line up coming.
Alright, so we're getting there, slowly but steadily. Can already start turning our airspeed down because it's not going to decrease anyway.
Alpine 1596 wind 640.
Train noted.
Right, clear for takeoff, sorry. Zone right, Kingdom 147, sorry for being a bit rude to you. Contact Bremen radar 120, disregard 134.425.
Yeah, no problem. I was a little bit early. I'm going with 134.425, game 147. Have a nice evening.
Okay, flaps 10. Let's try to reduce the airspeed a little bit. You can see with even the slightest bit of tailwind, like 5 knots only, the speed is not coming back in an 800.
Radar 9384, contact ground on 121.75.
Ground 117, Radar 934, thank you, alright.
And even at flap 10, it's only coming back very, very shortly.
And contract
So,
101
you're down,
with
15.
040 to 6 knots, left, clear to land.
07 left, dead land, contract 140.
Berlin Tower, guten Tag. We get to 8 on my...
Run checklist. Start switches, continuous, recall, check, speed brake, on green light, landing gear down to green, all brake 3 sets, holding in flaps.
Alpha 201 for wind 040.
And flaps 30.
Right, clear to land.
Dead land.
Alpine 1596, contact Bremen radar 120 to 65 chart. 65, bye.
Flaps 30, 30 green light, landing lights on, landing checklist completed, and the crew will... Which crew?
Rainer 2agree from Berlin Tower, good evening. One departure and one arrival ahead, so yeah, number 3, wind check 040.
500, continue.
Number 3, Ryan 220.
Condor 2056, the delay is now over, line up on the 07 right away.
Lining up to 07 right and wait, Condor 256.
Checked.
Clear wings 39 Echo Tango, Berlin Tower, good evening. One departure,
Continue.
wind check 040, 6 knots, number 1.
Berlin Tower,
10.
Condor 2056, wind 040,
Come on.
right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Condor 256.
And down. The runway is long, that's why we could do this.
2014, contact Berlin Crown 121.
So definitely going to use second detent reverse now because we want to reduce brake cooling to a minimum. 100 knots, manual brakes, we'll take the exit here. 80 knots and 60 knots.
German 39 Echo Tango, extend landing field.
So, dear pallets and boxes, welcome to Berlin.
Berlin Tower, good evening, Ryanair for Hotel, full establish 07 left.
Ryanair 4 Golf Hotel, Berlin Tower, good evening. Number 3 for the arrival, wind check 040.
Number 3, continue approach Ryanair for Golf Hotel, and just to inform you, we're maintaining 180 knots until 6 miles.
Ryanair 4 Golf Hotel, coming. At wing 39 Echo Tango, wind 07, wind 040, 6 knots, 07, right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 7 right, Germania 39.
Come on, Tower, don't forget me again.
Oh yeah, Germania, sorry for that. Condor 2056, contact.
He is forgetting me again.
On 120 to 65.
Bremen 120625 for Condor 2056, bye bye.
Contract 101, runway vacated.
Contract 101, contact rotation frequency 121.85.
12185, contract 101. Oh, I actually gotta stop because I don't know if we have to go left or right.
Right.
249, taxi via Victor, Charlie and Victor 1, holding short, entry south.
Berlin Apron, hello, contract 101, runway vacated.
Contact 101 Berlin Apron. Hello, taxi to stand 21 via Golf and correction via Golf, Kilo 1 and November 1.
Stand number 21 via Golf, Kilo 1, November 1, contract 101. Okay, so left, right, and then over here, in front of the cargo. We can do that.
Lufthansa 249, ground 117, schönen Abend, Teacher.
Berlin Airplane, good night, Lufthansa 267, 41, short Victor 1.
So to the left here, first to the right, and then to the apron.
Taxi to gate Bravo 16 by Victor 2.
Gate Bravo 16.
Well, also in theory,
Midland 2
does
Charlie
the
Papa.
taxiway still exist over there?
On Victor Charlie.
Yeah, it does. That's from the low-sitting perspective in the 737 that actually looked like the taxiway might be closed. But looks like it isn't. So that just looked strange.
Apron, good evening, Spinnaker 1674, stand Charlie 06.
Okay, 3 minutes. So we can shut down engine number 2.
Hello, push back approved, face west.
Push approved, face west, Spinnaker 1674.
Apron, good evening, Sam 852 would be ready for taxi and we are able for the Kilo 1 intersection.
Sam 852, Berlin Apron, hello, I think you have been sent to the wrong frequency, contact ground 121.7, bye bye.
Ground on 121.7, thank you.
So, gate 21. Right, so that was an interesting one for sure. Didn't expect to do a go-around again, but yeah, I guess go-arounds are always coming when you don't expect them, right? And I see that's a question why I shut down engine number 2, and the reason for that is because it simply saves some fuel. So, you can see, you need quite a bit of thrust on the remaining engine to accelerate, but once you're actually at speed, you can just see how it's gonna save fuel now.
Hello, Lufthansa 2 Tango, request for respect.
Lufthansa 2 Tango, Berlin Apron, hello.
And starting the APU.
South on Victor Charlie.
Good staff from Victor Charlie, Lufthansa 2 Tango.
And gate 21.
Lufthansa 1 Papa Mike, taxi via Victor 1, hold short of entry south.
Taxi via Victor 1, hold short of entry south, Lufthansa 1 Papa Mike.
Red nose 303, ready for the cancel pushback.
The marshal is here, very good.
Midland to Charlie Papa, confirm you cancel pushback?
Yeah, this next cancel pushback, yeah. Midland to HOTAS.
So can you do something useful there?
Report when ready for pushback again. Red nose 3203, taxi
Yeah.
Foxtrot and Victor.
No idea what she's trying to tell me. Because I am most certainly not across the line yet. But
Red nose 3303. Lufthansa 1 Papa Mike.
you get it. GSX. Still bugged. Not causing crashes, but still bugged.
Lufthansa 1 Papa Mike, contact ground 121.7, bye bye.
Come on.
121.7, Lufthansa 1 Papa Mike, thank you, bye bye.
Well, talking about bugs, that voice recorder switch should be coming on now. Yeah, like this. Alright, so welcome to Berlin. We have 20%, transit shutdown checklist. Electrical, APU, fasten belts off, probe beat auto, NEIs off, voice recorder on, air complex auto, engine bleeds on, upper bleed off, exterior lights set, start switches off, auto brake off, speed brake down attempt, parking brake set, flap top no lights, start levers off. Cut off with the radar off, transponder 2 on standby, CB in, and cockpit cockpit door unlocked. So GSX, come on, you can do it. You can do it.
Requested.
So basically I wanted to push back right now on the way to Zurich. But yeah, let's just try to make these things work as quickly as possible now. So I'm quickly going to set up the Simri flight plan. In the meantime, for you to enjoy, well, I'm of course going to open some doors for you. I'll be that generous. Even though it is a former Ryanair plane, you do get open doors for free. So here we go.
Crew deboardings. Do you want to deboard crew?
Nope, we definitely don't want to deboard the crew. Right, so let these guys do their stuff. In the meantime, we quickly set our aircraft up for the way on towards Zurich. If we don't push in like 10 minutes time, we're not going to make it for the event. So this is probably going to be my fastest turnaround ever on a live stream. So ABR 102, departure 7 left. This is probably going to be my absolutely quickest departure ever. So lock to 1 kilo, I guess, and in Zurich, I believe they're using 2.8 at that time of the night. And we surely have a relux transition, yes we do. Fast index 100, otherwise we are certainly not going to make this. 2.6 reserves, and we are going to have a zero fuel of 59, cruising at level, yeah, all the way up to level 280 in the end. Transition 5001, and that's pretty much it. So for the fuel, they planned us at 7.3, which is quite a bit. But then again, costing is 100 at these low levels, that is going to use quite a bit of fuel as well. So what we're going to do, let's load up 8 tons. Because, well, it's Zurich. I'm right now really rushing to get the airplane there on time, but then again, what might just happen as well is we might just about get into an hour holding or so. It's Zurich, you never know on that sim. So how high is it again? Take the runway elevation minus 50, so 1400. Okay. So that's basically our setup almost complete. I'm afraid to go at 150 feet. So thereafter we can already get our IFR clearance. In the meantime, what's the ground services doing? Almost finished. Very good. So yeah, let's go ahead then and get our IFR clearance. By the way, that strange sound you're hearing in the background there is something being very wrong with my model matching. So that one's to be put on, yeah, to be put on my misconfiguration of vPilot, just in case you were wondering. So 121.6, let's get our clearance. Berlin delivery, good evening. Contract 102, we have information. India, request clearance to Zurich.
Station calling, confirm call sign again, please.
Contract 102.
Sorry, could you spell that, please?
Alpha Bravo Romeo 102. He doesn't know the airline.
Alpha Bravo Romeo 102, information India, cleared Zurich, log to 1 Bravo departure, flight to en route, climb fire at 5,000 feet, squawk 1,000.
Contract 102 is cleared Zurich, log to 1 Bravo departure, climb by SID 5,000 and squawk 1,000.
Alpha Bravo Romeo 102, reflex is correct, report ready for startup.
Cool. Okay, log to 1 Bravo is the other one. Let's put that in. Get rid of the ILS frequencies. So that looks interesting over here. That looks really interesting. Anyway, what's the ground handling doing? Yeah, they are basically done. I don't want to bother waiting for the loading now. Let's just quickly put this in and off we go. So, the takeoff performance real quick then. And we've got that one over here. So let's go. Reset current aircraft. Takeoff dispatch. We're in Berlin. Runway 7 left. We'll take Kilo 2 figures. Runway is dry 040 at 622 degrees 1019, and we have a takeoff weight. What's this saying? Of 67.1. See, I told you the aircraft can become heavy very, very quickly. Alright, 24K, 32 degrees. So for once in a while we're actually not doing a 22K takeoff anymore. Ljubljana doesn't count. So, flap 5, CG is in, 5 units trim, we almost have that. Speed 41, 42, 49, that's within 1 knot, so we can use the FMC speeds. Alright, perfect, set. So, that is pretty much all that we need for this one. Then we can go ahead and get our checklist done. So, transfer before start checklist. Gibbons. 1 of 3 removed. Oxygen, test 100%. Yaw damper on. F transfer, that's no. Fuel, we need 7.4. We have 8 on board and 4 pumps on. Fast belts on. Window heat on. Air compress. Back auto bleeds on set. Press mode selector auto. Instruments cross checked. Auto brakes RTO. Hydraulics are normal. Speed brake. Down intent. Parking brake set. Start from cutout switches normal. Radius, radar, and transponder set standby, radar and aileron trims, 3 and 0, take a briefing discuss, PA complete, FMC CDU, set, M1 IS box, automatic, reduce 24K, speeds 40, 41, 48, set, step trim, 5 units, set, performance weight balance, handstand, phones off, EFB, airplane mode stowed, flight overlist cockpit door locked, doors closed, passengers seated, before star checks complete. Let's start getting the GSX to do their stuff. Alpha Bravo Romeo 102, request startup.
Alpha Bravo Romeo 102, startup is approved for pushback. Contact apron on 121.850, bye bye.
Startup approved, 121.85 for pushback, Alpha Bravo Romeo 102, bye bye. So, what are they doing? Moving.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Okay, that's nice. So, please get connected so that we can get going. Boy, this must really be the quickest turnaround that I've ever done. Ever.
Departure check completed. Light has been inserted.
Okay, so now we're waiting for GSX. But I think we can probably make it to Zurich in time. We'll just have to run as fast as possible.
Lufthansa 9er Hotel Foxtrot, request taxi.
Looking here.
Hotel Foxtrot, swing over Victor Charlie, taxi by Victor Charlie and Victor 3, hold short of entry north.
Taxi via Victor Charlie and Victor 3, hold short, entry north. Lufthansa 9er Hotel Foxtrot.
Berlin Apron, hello, contract 102, requesting pushback.
Contract 102, Berlin Apron, hello, pushback approved, face south.
Pushback approved, face south, contract 102.
Release parking brake.
Before start checks below the line, air complex off, anti-collision on, parking brake set, transponder alt off before start checks complete and the brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear, start at will.
Alright. So that must have been like 15 minutes or so on the ground.
Lufthansa 9 Hotel Foxtrot, contact ground 121.7, bye bye.
Cabanas, yep, definitely cost NX100, otherwise we aren't gonna make it. And Dream Unskilled, no, we don't have to turn off the localizer frequency, however I like my display is uncluttered.
Victor Mike, Victor 1, hold short entry south, using 226.
So, start engine 2.
2208,
And do I think if they're going to fix the slow movements? Which slow movements are you referring to there? But I don't really know what you mean exactly right now.
Gravity 2406, Berlin Apron, hello, taxi to stand, Alpha 09.
Oh, that rudder is jerking around. Hello, GSX. This is an awesome sight, isn't it? Absolutely awesome. Okay, so starting number 1.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Yeah, you can start disconnecting.
We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
I've still got to do the complete engine start, and I'm going to take any bet that I'll be able to complete this engine start by the time the GSX is going to be ready that I can start taxi.
Charlie Victor 1, hold short of entry south, minimum 2, Charlie Papa.
I'm going to take any bet for that, any. Even my pilot's license.
Unlocking gear.
Interesting bounce.
Tow truck disconnected. Right has been removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Okay, see, startup is complete. Okay, flight control check. Up, down, left, right. Before taxi checks. Generators on, APU off, start switches continues, profit on, ATS off, air conditioning, back auto bleeds on, isolation off, auto, flaps.
Bye-bye.
5 required, 5 selected, and green light, step trim, 5 units set. Start levers, idle intent, flight controls check, recall check, before taxi checks complete. Contract 102, request taxi.
Contract 102 for taxi contact ground 121.7. Bye-bye.
121.7, contract 102.
Berlin 2 Charlie Papa with ease.
Berlin 2 Charlie Papa, Berlin ground hello. Taxi via Victor 1 and Bravo short of Tango.
Victor 1 and Bravo short of Tango, Midland 2 Charlie Papa.
Berlin ground hello, contract 102, request taxi.
Contact 102, Berlin ground hello, taxi holding point 07 left via Kilo 1.
Holding point 07 left, via Kilo 1, contract 102. Right, so pretty much all the way straight. Brakes off, config. So that was the config check, by the way. You just move your thrust levers all the way to the front, and if the airplane wouldn't be in a takeoff configuration, you would get the takeoff configuration warning horn. But that's how easily we do it in the 737. Okay then, before takeoff checklist to the line. Config, check, flaps, 5 green lights, step trim, 5 units, set, and the takeoff briefing. So, tax auto bleeds on, anti-ice off, left seat takeoff runway 07 left, flaps 5, noise abatement 1 over here in Berlin, takeoff speeds 40, 41, 48, and the sit straight out, contact departure when advised, EO sit straight out 25 miles, climbing to an altitude of 3000. Any questions? Okay, cabin secure before takeoff checklist complete.
Fire Alpha, Victor 1, cabin
Middle 2 Charlie Papa, so distance in where Tango is?
Yep, going a little bit fast here.
On Bravo you will cross Papa 2, Papa 1 and then the long taxiway is Tango, the last one on the right.
Okay, Papa 1, Papa 2, don't have Tango on my chart, but yeah, okay.
You're just straight ahead and there where the A320 in front of you exactly now is approximately, there's takeoff.
Contract 102 ready for departure, able Kilo 2.
During 2 to 6 when of traffic and want to continue holding point Mike 2 via Bravo.
So come on, please prove Kilo 2, then we can go next left.
Mr. F946, can we contact tower please?
Negative call. So the contract again?
Ready for departure, able Kilo 2, contract 102. Say approved, say approved, say approved, come on. Yes. Join Kilo 2, Bomber Native Malay, contract 102, see ya.
With F946, can we contact tower please?
Charlie Bravo Romeo Mike, 1900 feet. Delta Bravo Romeo, leading frequency is approved, bye-bye. Frequency approved by Delta Hotel Charlie Bravo Romeo.
Berlin Tower, good evening, contract 102 at Kilo 2, ready for departure.
Haha, hi. Contract 102, Berlin Tower, good evening, yep, hold position.
Hold position, contract 102.
Okay, 151, 121.7.
Why does he say hold position? Why not hold short of runway 07 left? Because otherwise I would have to slam the brakes. And I see absolutely no reason to do that right now. I'm just going to hold short of the runway. But that phraseology would have been...
To the hotel, contact simulator 1.
So what are we waiting for? Why can't we go? Did the next one just say go around?
Right at 8 Golf Berlin Tower, good evening, best information for you. There's an deep access Diamond 6 to currently 1,700
So why can we not depart? What are we waiting for? The guy's at 7 miles. We can be long gone by the time he's here. Why is he clearing into land? It's 7 miles.
Diamond 6 to orbit right.
Okay, that is a waste of time right now.
Orbit right, number cubic limit.
That is a serious waste of time.
And
that's probably exactly the time that we would need in Zurich then. Because flight time is exactly an hour. Things like these are pissing me, if they are just wasting time so badly. I'm putting the TCAS on now. Let's see where that guy is. Look at that, he's 4 miles out. Why can't we go?
Right, clear for takeoff to Tango Tango.
That is a serious waste of time.
Renault 330, clear for takeoff from 7 left.
Did he clear someone for takeoff on 7 left? Whom? Why? Where? Did I miss anything?
Yep, two stations at once. It was the... Yeah, somehow you are not connected because I cannot see my screen for the... That's as far as I get to.
Mr. West Wind 3382 holding short 707 left at Lima 1.
Okay, West Wind 3382, FPC might take up a country in 5 minutes, but continue to and with that, good evening, we got 8 Alpha 160 Island. You're on my line.
You had 2
8 Alpha 160 right now, then 9 I told you already, you're on my line and stand by. Red Nose 2303, contact 7 radar 1 for the
Roman radar 1343 for the last, sorry for Red Nose 2303.
November Quebec Lima, there's currently an Wizz Air Airbus A320 Neo on 2 miles final currently at your, now on your 6 o'clock position.
Why is he handling VFR? There's an inbound. Put an IFR guy on the runway, please. No. Why is the VFR joining final? No! That's bullshit! Contract 102 is ready for an immediate departure.
Contact 101, okay, watch, wind 0406 left, cleared for takeoff, cleared for immediate takeoff.
Thank you, Contract 101, cleared immediate takeoff, sir. Sam left. Why not?
Rider 8, Lima Golf, contact ground
okay,
101.
below the line, MCP, set, transponder, TARS, strobe lights on, landing lights on, before takeoff checks complete.
Repeat your frequency change for Red Nose 6003, please.
Red Nose 3303 134.45.
So that guy's about 1 minute out.
134.425.
So let's get going.
Alpha 2 Tango, contact tower, contact 120, that's my 65 feet.
So takeoff first.
1.625 and good night.
Up with the 8 Alpha winds, do you expect late landing clearance? Late landing clearance expected with the 8 Alpha skip.
Oh, no, don't over-rotate. Contract 101, airborne. You're up. Come on, I told you airborne. Give him the landing clearance. Do it. Do it. Give the landing clearance. LNF. Oh, he didn't give the landing clearance. Why? Why do I report airborne?
Contact 102, contact Table radar 124, that's not 125.
134.425, contact 102. I mean, I was long cleared that runway. Why didn't you give a landing clearance? I don't get it. Frame radar low, contact 102, passing 2,400, climbing 5,000.
Contact 102, Berlin departure, identified, climb by pitch, flight level 160.
Climb by set level 160, contact 102.
Berlin departure, good evening, Renault
160 checked.
5000 feet, Zebra 2 forward departure.
Okay, back up.
Berlin departure, low identified, climb by pitch, crash climb, flight level 160.
Climb left seat, flight level 160, Renault 330.
Flap 1.
Right now 3303, proceed direct Monarch.
I don't know what was happening on the tower frequency. I had a feeling he was just not really, don't know.
Direct.
Might just not have been his day. Normally they are better over here. Okay, is that standard?
It's your last waypoint. Mike, Oscar, November, Alpha Kilo.
Direct Monarch, Renault 330.
Got some lights. Vina, fast takeoff checklist.
Say again, 2 Tango Tango.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Tango, direct Lura.
Air condition and pressurization is at 2.2, climbing and set.
Direct to Lura.
Altimeters. Standard. Passing 50, current 160. After takeoff checklist complete.
Contract 102 after passing level 80, proceed direct Outloon.
Contract 102, out of level 80, direct Outloon. Okay, we can expedite that a little bit. Because we're basically flying in the wrong direction right now. So...
With Delta Whiskey, Berlin departure, identified, turn left direction. With Delta Whiskey, climb level 60 and turn left heading 280.
Let's just trade a little bit of airspeed for altitude, and as soon as we're passing 80, we'll make the left-hand turn.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Tango, contact radar 123.225.
123.225, go down.
Choose Red Nose 3303, contact Bremen radar 124.
And execute. Honoring.
124.75, Renault 330.
Heat window closed again.
3303, 124.175.
124.175, Renault 330.
Wow. This looks amazing. This looks absolutely amazing.
Contact 102, contact radar 123.225.
123.225, contact 102, bye bye.
With Delta Whiskey, expect ILS approach runway 07 left.
Copy, expect ILS approach runway 0.
Tango Bremen, hello, identified, climb flight level 240.
And the time checks. Fuel is balanced, well.
240,
6 pumps, the lights are going off. APU off, air condition and pressurization, 4.2 climbing set, fasten belts. Well, although we don't have any passengers anyway. Recall checked, 1.5, monitoring time checks complete. Frame radar low, contract 102, passing 106, climbing 160 in one Outloon.
Contract 102, Bremen radar low, identified, climb flight level 260.
Climb flight level 260, and we are requesting level 300 if able, contract 102.
Say again?
Contact 142, request flight level 300.
Okay, roger.
Flight level 300 is the level where you can get the highest true airspeed. Above that, your true airspeed is going down again, if you're flying on a constant Mach number.
572, distance approach.
Easy 6 kilo tail, climb flight level 340, so continue your climb, you were cleared for 340. Lufthansa 5 Yankee, speed 270.
Speed 270 knots, Lufthansa 5 Yankee.
Legend 9 Papa Whiskey, descent flight level 120, speed 260 knots.
Speed 260, descent flight level 120, Legend 9 Papa Whiskey.
Lufthansa 2 Tango Tango, for higher, contact München radar 133.575, bye.
133.775,
Lufthansa 2 Tango Tango negative, frequencies 133.575.
133.755.
Negative, Lufthansa 2 Tango Tango, the frequency is 133.575.
133.575. Sorry, Lufthansa 2 Tango Tango.
Legend 9, Papa Whiskey, direct Delta Bravo 572.
Delta Bravo 572, Legend 9, Bravo Whiskey, thank you.
Easy 6 Kilo Hotel, contact Bremen, radar 128.750, bye-bye. Lufthansa 5 Yankee, contact arrival 126.425, bye-bye.
126.425, thank you. Lufthansa 5 Yankee.
Alright, guys, I'm working on the stream quality. Sorry for that. Contract 102, can we leave the frequency for 3 minutes?
3 minutes maximum approved, report back.
3 maximum, go. Alright, guys, I'll be straight back.
Legend 9 Papa Whiskey, contact arrival 126.425, ciao.
126.425, Legend 9 Papa Whiskey, please.
Lufthansa station calling in, say again, sorry.
Yeah,
Lufthansa 7 X-Ray Bremen, hello, identified. Confirm you were already handed over?
8 Bremen, probably were handed over by 7 flight
These are 9 Air Force 6, guten Abend, Pacific 120.
Lufthansa 7 X-Ray from here, but of course, I expect to hand over and
Yeah, 7 X-Ray, it was not you, back to München, 133.575, ciao. With a 946, hello, identified, climb flight level 240, fly heading 260.
Okay, so climb 240 and heading 260.
Alright guys, I'm back here and yeah, the stream is really lagging behind right now. Contract 102 is back.
Contract 102, welcome back. Traffic information, traffic is on your 9 o'clock position, 6 miles, currently 7,000 feet below, and he's also climbing.
Contract 102, roger. So guys, the reason I'm not really saying anything about it in the stream is because my internet provider is really having problems right now, and my internet speed just really deteriorated. So I kind of thought that it might be one of my neighbors who might be in my wireless, because one of my neighbors asked me for the access code a short while ago, and I thought, alright, normally it's fast enough, but yeah, unfortunately that didn't quite work out as I would have wished it. So yeah, well, I just gotta hope that it's going to increase again, but right now it seems like it's really making problems. So let's hope that things are going to become better. If anything happens to be going wrong, I'm going to upload a full copy of this one at a later point.
Decent flight level 130.
Bremen, Lufthansa 4 November X-Ray level 200.
Lufthansa 4 November X-Ray Bremen radar, guten Abend, identified. Decent flight level 120.
Lufthansa 4 November X-Ray descent level 120.
Easy 5862, speed 270 knots. Berlin 2-3XA, your number 1, direct Delta Bravo 572.
Number 1, direct Delta Bravo 572, Berlin 2-3XA.
Lufthansa 4 November X-ray, speed 250 knots.
Right, so what we can definitely see here is if we're flying at speed like this, almost the red line, the plane is climbing really slowly.
91 Tango, Bremen radar, hello, identified. Descent flight level 120, speed 260 knots.
Descent flight level 120 and speed 260 knots for your base 91 Tango.
Easy 5862, speed 280 knots.
Bremen low, Yoke 226,000, flight level 100, climbing flight level 160.
Yoke 226, hello, identified. Climb flight level 240.
Flight level 240, Yoke 226.
EasyJet 9946, can I meet for 1 minute?
With the 2946, negative, you can expect a turn soon, so please stay here. Next controller can approve it.
Yes, okay.
Lufthansa 7 XA, hello, identified. Descent level 120. Dann nicht, Berlin 2-3 X-ray, speed 280 knots or greater, contact arrival 126.425.
Speed 280 knots or greater and contact approach on 126.45.
UPS 91 Tango, turn right heading 040, speed 220 knots.
Turn right 040 and speed 220 knots, UPS 91 Tango.
With the 946, left direct Otloon, climb flight level 260.
Climb 260 and direct to Otloon with 9946.
Lufthansa 7 X-ray, descent flight level 220, you identified.
I really have to laugh hard at that comment. Neighbor streaming 8K photogrammetry. I think so.
Blocked, first readback, Lufthansa 7 X-ray again. Lufthansa 7 X-ray, around 7
You're on guard.
Correct, contract 102 for hire, München 133575, goodbye.
133575, contract 102, bye.
Easy 5862, contact arrival 126425, ciao.
Contact 123.275.
Guys, be professional. My colleague can sleep and I can't hear
With their
Netflix.
41 X-ray, contact Langen, 123, that's the new 775.
Yeah.
123, 275, with their 41 X-ray.
Choose Swiss 1189, radar contact, climb flight level 130.
Alright, can we get any shortcuts out of this?
Lufthansa 5 Charlie Mike, report your speed to Bremen, 1
Hopefully.
225.
Well, we'll have to see.
Report speed to Bremen and contact M on 123, decimal 225. Schönen Abend, ciao, die Lufthansa 5 Charlie Mike.
München, hello, contract 102, flight level 260, inbound, Otlund, requesting level 300.
Contract 102, München, radar contact, hello, climb flight level 300, proceed, bumpy.
Climb level 300 to Bunky, contract 102. Right, that's 300.
202,
Set.
descent flight level 200.
1, 2, and...
Lufthansa 7,
3 times.
descent flight level 200.
Monitoring 1 to 1.5. And then Bunky. Yep, that's it. Execute. Another very nice shortcut here.
With the 946,
By the way, if you're wondering why I'm choosing level 300 as final level, have a look at the true airspeed we are having in this region right now. We're looking at about 480 knots. And if we were to climb to a higher level, then this would actually be going down quite significantly again, down to about 450 knots if we really went up all the way to, what would it want to go to, 380. So that's why I'm choosing level 300 as final. Something around 475 or so. That should be very good speed. Now let's see. MKIL is where we're going to enter Swiss airspace 7 minutes before the end of the event. But we can't fly any faster. We can't fly any faster.
München, hello. At inbed, contact Langen, 123.275, you're not a man.
Well, gonna do the setup when we get there.
123, 275,
Swiss 1189, I contact London, 123, doesn't make any coming time.
I'll just take a second for the taxi.
This comes up to 02, descend.
Okay, so, yeah, just about experiencing the last voracious sunlight.
Das der Wolfgang natürlich mir passen, Flight Level 13 zurücknehmen. Flight Level 19 immer
And I don't know if it's just me, guys, but I have a feeling that whenever you are flying with a default weather scenario rather than the live weather, it actually even looks better than with the live weather. Of course, the default scenarios are probably designed for that, so... Anyway, we are just about to enter that period in time where the sun is below the level of cloud, illuminating them from below, which then gives you a red appearance on the top side of the clouds, making it look like it's burning below them. That's probably the one of the very nicest weather phenomena that you can actually experience. So, reaching cruise level, 300. 474 knots. Well, that's the fastest we can get out of this plane.
With the 946, normal radar climb. With Air 946, resume normal rate of
So let's see, MKIL is below level 180 as far as I am aware. Do they have an HOTAS in Zurich?
Mission radar, good evening. Super 8 Tango Kilo, followable 360 on Narox.
Super 8 Tango Kilo, München, radar contact. Lufthansa Trade Bureau, descent flight level 200.
Descending level 200, Lufthansa Trade Bureau.
Contract 102, radio check.
Keep you fine.
Oh no, is my headset dying as well now? I can't hear any traffic talking. I have a feeling this is going southbound.
Is the 946 again?
Actually should to climb back to the 30 because our flight level is too below.
With the 946, come again please, loud and clear. What is your requested flight level?
Okay, that's it.
So, landing runway 28 for now. Guys, let me know how the audio quality of the air traffic controller is now, because I just had to put him on the speaker because for some reason he wouldn't play on the headset anymore. So let me know if it's bad, then I just gotta fix the headset somehow. So let's see, for the line weight, we're gonna use 1,000. 64.1.
Achso, ja, dann passt alles. Vielen Dank, verstanden wird.
And probably a flat 40 landing because runway 28 is rather short. But we're gonna do the details in a moment.
Could you please cross-check frequency for me?
Echo Lima Echo. Yeah, go ahead.
136575, this is the ATIS for Hamburg? Not Hamburg, Hannover?
Echo Lima Echo, That's 02, correct Raymond, 123, 225.
Alright, so, guys, is the live stream working once again? more or less.
So then over Fox 1 mention at all. Lufthansa 202, contact Bremen 123-225.
123-225, 502-02, genau.
Lufthansa 380, contact Bremen 123-225.
Contact Bremen 123-225, contact Bremen, ciao.
Lufthansa 7251, contact Bremen 123-225.
Going to Bremen 123-225,
Wiedersehen. Ryanair 816 Mango descent, flight level 200.
Descent level 200, Ryanair 816 Mango.
Delta Lima Echo, also gerade ist in Hannover keine, also auf der Frequenz läuft gerade nicht.
Oh, okay.
Right, so gotta enjoy the little bit of free time that we have right now here in cruise. Just enjoy the sunset.
Und doch, da ist Leute was drauf laufen eigentlich, auf der 123 Park.
Okay, dann teste ich die gleich mal aus. Besten Dank.
TrueJet 3762, question. Doch, TrueJet 3762, Model 75.
Vielen Dank, schönen Abend. TrueJet 3762.
Ryanair 816 Tango expect ILS 04, proceed direct Gompa, Golf Oscar Mike Papa Alpha.
Victoria approach 04 and direct to Gompa, Ryanair 816 Tango.
Engineering 226.
Roving 226.
Ist ein Out of Cockpit von 5 Minuten, okay?
Das passt, ja.
Das ist fest.
Alright, so I think I fixed everything. I don't know, it's not my day today. At least we're getting a beautiful sunset. That kind of makes up for it, doesn't it? So this is what I meant earlier on. When the sun is below the first layer of clouds and illuminates them from below. In real life it looks even more impressive, but Microsoft is already getting quite close here. So that's really good job. Really good job.
Delta Lima Echo, set for 1000.
Delta Lima Echo, squawk 1000.
Contract 102, any chance you can negotiate a direct MQ?
Contract 102, at the moment not.
Okay.
Delta Lima Echo, proceed direct to Robeck.
Proceeding direct Robeck, Delta Lima Echo.
Ryanair 816 Tango, descent flight level 120.
Descend 130, Ryanair 816 Tango.
Sierra Alpha Mike 852, contact Langen 123, decimal 275.
Langen on 123, decimal 275 von SX2, Dankeschön.
Lufthansa 12, request out for 5 minutes, please.
Approved.
Danke, Lufthansa 12, ja. Good evening, Alpaca 7 Echo November.
Alpaca 7 Echo November, München, radar contact. Hello, proceed direct Kilo Lima Foxtrot.
Say again, Alpaca 7 December.
Alpaca direct Klaasdorf, Kilo Lima Foxtrot.
Oh, yeah, Kilo Lima Foxtrot, Alpaca 7 December. And Delta Lima Echo, where is that fixed? Where are you, where you want me to direct to exactly?
Delta Lima Echo, ich habe keinen blassen Schimmer. Robeck, Romeo Oscar, Bravo Echo Golf.
Alright.
You can send Bravo to number 3 Tango at level 300 inbound Vistol.
Tango, not a matter.
Red between English Special 025 with you.
Pizza 265 München, Radar Contact. Hallo, Profita Kilo Lima Foxtrot.
Direct Kilo Lima Foxtrot. Special 025. München radar, hello, Swiss 574, flight level 370.
Swiss 574 München, Radar Contact. Hallo, Profita Kilo Lima Foxtrot.
Direct Kilo Lima Foxtrot, Swiss 574.
Hallo, das ist die Tango request ticket.
So, last couple race of lights.
Du bist nicht in meinem Sektor, super. Du kannst davor Delta Charlie, die kann ich leider nicht zuhandeln.
Defense 200, das kann ich Delta Charlie.
Alpaca 7 Echo November, die kann ich leider nicht zuhandeln.
Das war eine 300, da Alpaca 7 Echo.
Right, let's do a little bit of arrival preparation for Zurich then, since it's not all too much longer from now on. So, Zurich itself is using the ILS approach for runway 28 at the moment. Just going to update that once more. Wind is variable, CAF OK, and 19 degrees on QNH 1019. So let's go ahead and program the ILS approach for 28 here as well. 273 on the courses.
Descent if I can see connection 1020 on 816 Tango.
So 273 and 273, then we're looking at 109.75 and 109.75.
Lufthansa 251 München, Radar Contact, direct Kilo Lima Foxtrot.
Alright, that's in. Good enough.
München radar, translate for Lima, your flight level 260.
You translate for Lima, München, Radar Contact, hello.
I almost hate bringing them up on screen, but I have a feeling that we are not going to do without charts at all. So yeah, we got to get ourselves some charts here. So let's go for it right now. Here we are. For the arrival, it's going to be the ILS approach for runway 28. And I don't really care which waypoint it's going to come over. In the end, it's going to be radar vectors most likely, I guess. So...
And Delta Lima Echo, my sim crashed, be back in roughly 5 minutes.
Roger.
This is what we have then. Minimums is going to be 2092. That is quite a high minimums. But well, Zurich is not exactly located in sea level either, so it's actually only 676 feet above the field elevation. Oh, 2092. After landing, that's the tricky part over here now.
Ignition radar, good evening, Sierra X-ray Delta 5 Chevy with you.
This is the chart we're looking for, runway 28, so trying to vacate via Foxtrot is going to be quite hard. So runway 34 is probably what we'll have to take. Then maybe we can go via runway 34 and Echo 9, somewhere down here to the cargo apron. Otherwise we'll go via Foxtrot all the way down here. So that's the chart we're looking for, and for the arrival, it could literally become anything. So, Relux 28, let's just prepare that. I don't know if we're going to get it or not.
Alpine 37 Bravo Papa at 360.
So 250 below 100, forecast page. You can put 1013 in here, because we are flying this with because we're flying this with a standard weather, unfortunately, and we're looking at transition level of 70. So the rings around runway 28, 10 knots, 4 miles, and for the arrival itself,
0265 descent flight level.
only the transition out of Relux, eventually leading us to radar vectors for the ILS approach. Livery graph prefers to give us an empty chart, alright. Then we'll start with the ILS briefing straight away. So we have the ILS approach from runway 28 starting at Harman. In 5,000 feet we'll do a 3.3 degree descent down to the minimums 2092, which we have in our selectors. And 1013 we can pre-select as well, like this. And for the missed approach then, that's always an interesting one on this one. Initial time 4,000 feet, that's a near 4,000 below, come straight at 2.5 miles India Zulu Whiskey, past the station to the left, max 210. So 210, only 193 degrees, then continue to climb at 7,000 feet, that's 7,000 here, intercept radio 061, Bilzau inbound, at 10 miles to the right, 328, 153.275, contact 102. Alright, proceeding to default. So that's what we have.
ED28 Victor Lima, Langen Radar, guten Abend, identified. Lufthansa 8 Hotel Tango, you switch Unicom, bye bye.
Alright, so that's pretty much all that we can do today. Radar load, contract 102, level 300, inbound Amosa. And everyone's blocking one another. Radar low, contract 102, flight level 300, inbound Amosa.
Contract 102, Langen Radar, hello, identified.
No direct, unfortunate.
With the 946, Langen Radar, guten Abend, identified. Lufthansa 144, descent flight level 180.
Descent in 1010 miles.
Lufthansa 144, descent now, flight level 180.
Descent now, flight level 180.
Lufthansa 247 Charlie, my spar is Spiesa 3 Bravo, is that right? Safer. That's correct. Sam 852, descent flight level 180.
Descent flight level 180, Sam 852.
UJet 476, expect ILS 25 left.
ILS 25 left, UJet 476.
KLM 1775, expect ILS Yankee 25 right.
Langen Radar, hello, Lufthansa 3 Kilo Papa at flight level 170.
Lufthansa 3 Kilo Papa, Langen Radar, guten Abend, identified. Climb flight level 190, roll is 3 Alpha arrival.
Climb flight level 190 and request out of cockpit for about 5 minutes.
Approved, report back.
Will go.
After 971, climbing flight level 190 for flight level 210.
Luxair 971, Langen Radar identified, climb flight level 210.
Oh, not a lot to do now really. Let's enjoy the sun, let's enjoy the weather.
So any chance for arrive?
And
Lufthansa 252, discuss this with
enjoy the last rays of light.
Contact Swiss Radar 13305, bye bye.
Say again, big frequency, Lufthansa 252.
13305.
13305, Lufthansa 252.
Eurowings 9824, contact Swiss 13305, tschüss.
13305, Eurowings 9824, please mount Patron.
KLM 47 Bravo, descent flight level 180.
Descent to 180, okay, now 47 Bravo.
landing, KLM 1775.
So sorry for the long silence, guys.
KLM 1775.
I just really don't know what else to say right now. Just sitting here enjoying the sunset, enjoying the airplane, and thinking about how I can fix my stream. But there's really not a lot that comes into my mind here except for restarting the router, but if I do that, the live stream is going to end, so I don't want that either. So yeah, we'll just take it all the way from here down to Zurich, and tomorrow I'll have a much better version available of this second flight.
Sam 852, contact Swiss Radar 133.9, bye bye.
Swiss Radar 133.9, Sam 852, Dankeschön.
Let's see, maybe I can ask a couple, or I can answer a couple of your questions in the meantime. So, I know you guys are seeing it with quite a lot of delay, but anyway, so MTHEF, do you think this will be the final release candidate of the 737-800 before release? No, there's going to be one more.
Lufthansa 144, contact Swiss 133.9, choose.
And regarding the tail strikes, you guys are right. There is just no way of knowing if you had a tail strike from the flight deck if you don't hear it, especially in the freighter it's hard, but in the passenger version just as well. So in the passenger version you kind of have the cabin crew sitting in the back who should know it, and they are going to call you if they think anything happened. But of course that's not a definite indicator, so things may happen, things may not happen, and after all, it really comes down to the crew, and if they don't notice it, well, your only option is that tail skid, and you're going to see the scratches on the tail skid.
Stop stand level 200, KLM 47 Bravo.
KLM 1775, descent altitude 5000 feet, QNH 1016.
QNH 1016, 5000 feet, KLM 1775.
Call you back, New Jet 476, descent altitude 4000 feet, QNH 1016.
4000 feet, 1016, New Jet 476.
Swiss 149 X-ray, Langen radar identified, climb flight level 320. Leipzig Air 255, descent flight level 320.
320, Leipzig Air 255.
So, Cavanos, why is runway 28 in Zurich named 28 while the runway heading is 273? I guess that's probably based on historical reasons. So, the runway heading should be named according to the magnetic heading. However, what's happening every now and then is that the magnetic North Pole is shifting all the time, and therefore the runway heading can shift over time as well. Normally, an aviation authority or an airport authority is required to change the naming convention of the runway as soon as the heading passes the value 5. So for example, at the airport where I did my initial glider flying, we initially had a runway 27 with a runway heading of 265, and then it shifted to 264 and the runway became redesignated into runway 26. And I guess in Zurich they just don't want to do that for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have enough money to repaint the runway surface or whatever. Now, that's very easy. But it's going to be something like this, that for some reason, maybe political, maybe economical, I don't know, they don't want to change the runway designator that they theoretically should be doing.
Lufthansa 247 Charlie, heading 330.
Heading 330,
Delta Golf Hotel, Wind Saarbrücken 0103, 4 knots, runway 27, cleared for takeoff.
So, very interesting topic there by White, saying, quote, "You're not a real pilot, 9 uploads in 10 days, including 2 streams, again, where's your wife and kids?" Well, my girlfriend's been on holiday, so she just came back a couple of days ago, And as others said, you can pre-record stuff and then upload that later on. Obviously the GSX videos were done live, but I've had a little bit of time for those, and a lot of the 737-800 stuff that you guys are seeing is actually pre-recorded from earlier times, and now I simply have to clear it to the audience, that you guys can see the videos. So that's how I did this.
With a 9460, descend flight level 180.
Descent 180 with that 9946.
Air Berlin 2127, Langen identified, level 230. Contract 102, descend flight level 190.
Contract 102, descend flight level 190. Oh, finally, down we go. Set. 90 checked. Alt increments.
Swiss 66, contact Swiss radar, frequency 133.9, bye-bye.
Over to Swiss radar on 133.9, thank you, Master Service and Armature 366.
Lange radar, good evening, Swiss 0052 with you at flight level 240.
Swiss 0052, Langen identified, climb flight
Descent
level
checklist. Pressurization, land out 1400, anti-ice off, approach refuel, discussed ice and outblocks.
With the 946, contact Swiss radar, frequency 133.9, bye-bye.
133.946, bye-bye.
KLM 1775, turn right heading 220, cleared ILS Yankee, runway 25 right.
Right, 220 and require approach here, 255.
Europa 21 Alpha Whiskey, Langen radar, good evening, identified. New Jet 476, contact Frankfurt Tower 119.9, safe landing, bye-bye.
119.9 for New Jet 476.
Lufthansa 247 Charlie, descent altitude 4,000 feet, QNH 1016.
Descending 4,000 feet, QNH 1016, Lufthansa 247
Delta Golf Hotel, radar contact, flight level 85, climb flight level 110. Contract 102, contact Swiss, frequency 133.9, cheers.
133.9, contract 102, cheers.
Lange radar, good evening, Lufthansa 544 with.
We are taking flight level 200
3 Romeo X-ray, Swiss radar, good evening. Cleared Negra 2 Alpha arrival, hold at Amiki Mountain flight level 200. Lufthansa 3 Romeo X-ray, Negra 2 Alpha arrival, hold at Amiki Mountain flight level 200.
Swiss radar, good evening, contract 102, descending flight level 190 in Mount Sogo.
Locked. Inside 2 fast Mike, descent flight level 110.
Descent flight level 110, Swiss 2 fast Mike.
Swiss, good evening, contract 102, descent flight level 190 in Mount Sogo.
Average 102, Swiss radar, good evening, hold at relax.
I confirm it's contract 102, hold over relapse, and can you confirm the expected approach time?
Contract 102, affirmative, hold over relapse. Well, expect about 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes delay.
Contract 102, roger, hold over relax. Half an hour delay.
My contact to the arrival 135, that's 225, happy landing, bye bye.
135.225, cruise 825 Mike, thank you, goodbye.
Race 525, contact along the radar 123.275, clear flight, bye bye.
123.275,
okay, so we've got to put that holding in.
Race 1089, descent flight level 120.
If we're getting that delay anyway. Well, we've got to make the MQ restriction once we've made it.
Radar, good evening, Lufthansa 3, Charlie, flight level 120.
We can start reducing our airspeed then. So, relax holding. 180 inbound, right hand turns, minimum flight level 70, maximum 240. Hold, relax, insert, and 188 with a right hand turn. Okay.
Sam 852, descent flight level 130.
Descent flight level 130, 7852.
Good evening, Switch 10 Tango, passing level 105, 120.
Race 108 Tango, with radar, Wunder, Paranavik, climb flight level 160, proceed direct Xebix.
160, direct Xebix, with 109.
Lufthansa 144, descent flight level 140.
Descent flight level 140, Lufthansa 144.
Reserve 946 inbound, relax.
Reserve 946, affirmative, hold at relax established.
Okay, hold at relax, obvious, reserve 946.
Contract 102, please confirm the clear flight level.
Contract 102, flight level 190.
190, contract 102. Okay, then we can start reducing all the way to holding speeds.
47 Bravo, descent flight level 150.
150 for 47 Bravo.
Reserve 946, and do you know how much time do we expect being in the holding?
Reserve 946, about 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay, okay.
Lufthansa 3 Romeo X-ray, descent flight level 160.
Flight level 170,
descent flight level 170.
Hot blocked.
Easy 6 Kilo Hotel, descent flight level 170. Race 85 Delta, contact Longland 123.275, sincere flight, goodbye.
Contact 123, please again, with SH Delta.
Race 85 Delta, 123.275.
Contact 123.275, thank you, guys, with SH Delta.
Sam 852, contact Zurich arrival 135.225, happy landing, bye bye.
Alright, looks like we'll be holding in icing conditions.
Arrival on 135.
Engine ATS going on.
Sam 852, danke.
Saturdays, this is Throttle Romeo, level 108, coming 1.
Race 2 Hotel Romeo, Swiss radar with the Nordic climb flight level 220.
Level 2 to the 1.
Race 108 Tango, climb flight level 240. Lufthansa 3 Charlie, please maintain flight level 170.
Right, so, time to join the holding. Half an hour, he said.
Lufthansa 3 Charlie, please maintain flight level 170.
170, I'm sorry, Lufthansa 3 Charlie.
366, descent flight level 180.
Descending flight level 180, 266.
We say 946, descent flight level 160.
Descent 160, with air 946.
So, for how long do we even have fuel then? 52 minutes, alright. So we can take the holding.
Flight level 19.
Well, so be it.
Contact 102, descent flight level 170.
Contact 102, descent flight level 170, and confirm the expected time of the holding is still in the region about half an hour.
Contact 102, yeah, 20 minutes, but it will be in about 3 to 5 minutes and change to the next holding.
Roger.
Easy 802, climb flight level 220.
Climb flight level 220, easy 802.